Chapter 60-21. Brother Wuxia. Wuxia was shocked by the breath, and after stabilizing his figure he exclaimed, "Why did your divine power turn dark red? Isn't it blue?" He knew Jian Wuxiang's peak secret technique, but now it is red, and it is the power of the beast god, indicating that he did not use the peak secret technique. Call. Jian Wuxiang took his breath and said indifferently, "This is the power of the beast god. Just try it by chance." But the others looked extremely surprised. The ambitious backbone Luo also lowered his head and felt ashamed. Among the people present, Huiqing was able to compete with Jian Wuxiang. "Huiqing, what is your basic divine power?" Jian Wuxiang looked at Huiqing and wanted to ask the other party's basic divine power. 10 million. Huiqing replied calmly. Wuxia and the others smacked their tongues secretly. "Monster, you are a monster." Several people were not paying attention to Jian Wuxiang and Huiqing, and each absorbed the blood-colored breath again, trying to reach the limit state. Jian Wuxiang was not too surprised after hearing the 10 million. The basic divine power of 10 million, plus the increase of the source, reached 15 million, and then the future body was used, and Huiqing had a divine power of 20 million. Huiqing's strength was indeed the strongest among them all. There is no limit in Wanlu Shenmu. Qi Jiuxiao can do more than 30 million. This is the strongest existence he has ever seen. But Huiqing is different, he is a practitioner. The future will be stronger. Moreover, the northern time and space have limitations, and it is impossible to break through the limit of 20 million. The starting point is that Danbao created the secret method of life, and it can only be achieved by raising the entire northern time and space to a level. But that's a little far away, and I don't know how long it will take for the current road to resurrection. Not to mention improving this. Everyone, I'm going to go after the 7th calamity, and I will waste some time. After Jian Wuxiang took his breath, he turned to look at everyone. It was originally planned to cross the calamity in the middle, but now it has absorbed the blood-colored breath, and the divine power has reached perfection, but it has not reached the limit. He wants to absorb the power of blood after the calamity. Hearing that Jian Wuxiang was about to transcend the calamity, the eyes of the others flickered. Crossing tribulation? That's a big deal, and a good thing. And now Jian Wuxiang is only the lord of the 6 tribulations realm universe. So powerful. After the calamity, wouldn't it be able to rival Huiqing soon? Everyone is very supportive, and they are not in a hurry anyway. Wuxia said at this time. Brother Wuxiang, what are your plans for the land of calamity? Jian Wuxiang was stunned by these words. He had never thought about this. Isn't it enough to find a random place to cross the robbery? He spread his hands, feeling that he had complete confidence, and he didn't need to choose a location or a special time. Hey! Wuxia got up and patted his shoulder and said, "You don't understand a little bit. Even if you have absolute certainty about transcending the calamity, you have to choose a treasure land. 3 million, the amount of power consumed by the calamity of the gods alone. I am afraid that it will cost tens of millions of primordial stones. Although we have money, we must learn to use it sparingly." Jian Wuxiang really doesn't understand this. But when he heard that the primordial stones could be saved, he became interested. God's body mass calamity was the least consumed for him. 3 million divine powers did require tens of millions of primordial stones. He didn't care about the primordial stones. The high calamity is different. That consumption is called big. For 3 perfect universes to overcome the calamity together, the amount of primordial stones needed is probably hundreds of millions. This is the 7th robbery. The 8th robbery is 100,000 times stronger than the 7th robbery. At that time, more primordial stones are needed. With his size, I am afraid that it will take 1,000,000 epochs of life force to be able to collect so many primordial stones. The key is that although his life force is infinite, the robbery is not infinite. In the northern time and space, there are only so many scattered tribulations in the 8 tribulations. Even if the 7 tribulations and 6 tribulations are counted, he can't sell that much. Except for the top powerhouses, the remaining 5 tribulations realm, and even the weaker scattered tribulations, can't get much primordial stone at all. Although there are many of these people, the primordial stones are pitifully small. So how can they get together? Jian Wushuang is also planning ahead, and it is best to save some primordial stones. After all, he has to cultivate to the 8 Tribulations realm in the northern time and space. Going to the world god continent, he is not going to go without the 8 Tribulations realm, especially to deal with the monster Shilu. Without 20 million divine power, it is still impossible to join in the fun. In the next time, Wuxia informed Babata of the coordinates, and they entered a core place in the northern time and space. It is also a time-space mystery. 2 Void Secret Realm. Everyone was almost cultivating at this time, and they all looked at the secret realm of Taishu in the sky. The secret realm of time and space is rare in the entire northern time and space. This one here is a space-time secret realm bordering the ancient moon space-time. There are endless dangers inside, and of course there are opportunities. It was here that Wuxia crossed the calamity back then. But that time, the realm king brought him here. So there is no danger. This time, a few of them went in, but they didn't have such a big face. As soon as he entered the perimeter, he found a group of 7 Tribulations realm wild beasts. If this is the Lord of the 7 Tribulations realm universe, I am afraid it will be difficult to break through in the periphery. That is, some 8 Tribulations realm came to Rome. The weakest 8 Tribulations realm has 3 million divine powers, and those with slightly stronger strengths can break through 5 million divine powers. There is still no danger in roaming around the perimeter. Jian Wushuang and the others didn't stay too long, and they directly traversed the desolate beasts, shaking those desolate beasts into powder. This has not yet launched an attack. If it attacks these wild beasts, the most common star-level attack can destroy these wild beasts. It would be too wasteful to do so. The essence of Wanfang Heiyao, given by the Realm King, has all been used up. With only the original 17 sides left, Jian Wushuang naturally had to use it sparingly. On the other hand, Wuxia and others, who had itchy hands, went out to fight for a while. Naturally they crushed those wild beasts. There was only 1 stick of incense left, and they would kill the entire wild beast group. Moreover, it is pure destruction, did not collect the treasures of those wild beasts. The treasures on the wild beasts are actually useful beast cores. They have an aura, and they don't look down on these beast cores at all. Jian Wushuang is not in a hurry, and when they destroy the wild beasts, they will head towards the depths of the Taishu secret realm. The place Wuxia mentioned is at the core of the Taishu secret realm, where is extremely dangerous but fortunately can enter. Generally, the Lord of the 8 Tribulations realm universe is in the inner circle and dare not approach the core. It is rumored that the core of Taishu secret realm is terrifying. It is the remains of an ancient sect. The sect in the early Yuan dynasty of northern time and space. Chapter 60-22. At its peak, there were dozens of masters of the 8 Tribulations realm universe. In the early Yuan dynasty, it was too long for them, and it had surpassed the era when the goddess was born. The powerhouses of that period basically all fell. And at that time, there may not even be a of death, and death is really dead. The soul does not return to the of death. That can be regarded as a piece of the past of the North time and space. Although there are many superpowers born, they have not brought any changes to the world. After the pyramid leaped over the endless floating objects on the periphery, it entered the inner periphery. It was a piece of rubble star ring, said to be gravel. In fact, each piece is more than 10 billion miles in diameter, and there are some strange beings living above. However, the strength is relatively weak. There are also powerful special beings that survive, but they will not threaten them. The most dangerous in the inner circle is the power of prohibition. It was the shattering formation of the Taishu Holy Land back then. These formations can easily trap the 8 Tribulations realm, so it's more dangerous. The flying speed of the pyramid has also slowed down, and with the control of Babata, they are not worried about being trapped. Even if he is trapped, Jian Wushuang can break the restriction. You don't need Huiking's help. The strongest 8 Tribulations realm, that was born in the Taishu Holy Land, did not reach the ancient level. Eternal, 20 million divine power, The limit carried by the northern time and space also locked his origin at this stage. If the ancient existence of Taishu Holy Land was born, I am afraid it will not be destroyed. The age of Tiankang's birth was similar to the time of Taishu Holy Land. It's almost here. Wuxia could already see the sun disk in the core through the sky. Along the way, they did not encounter any practitioners. Since the birth of the God of Life, all the 8 tribulation realms have become cherished. I used to fight all the time, because I wanted to reach the 9 tribulations realm. Now that I know that the 9 tribulations realm is hopeless, I am also honest, and it is not too late to take risks after the God of Life has raised the level of life in the northern time and space. So they go easily. Some secret places are dangerous, and the most dangerous is often not the danger of forbidden places, but the cannibalism from the same family. Jian Wuxuang looked at the scene in the sky, and was also amazed. The original Taishu Holy Land, I am afraid that in the entire northern time and space, it is the most peak force. After it has been destroyed for so long, the core land can still be preserved so intact. That's not it. Wuxia sighed. When the Real King brought me here, he said that the most unfortunate thing for him is this Taishu Holy Land, because in the Taishu Holy Land, there was a person born in the 8th. The tribulation realm has mastered the existence of time and space. If it is not because of the northern time and space, I am afraid that you can enter the 9 tribulation realm at will. And the realm is as high as the king of the world. Master time and space. Jian Wuxuang couldn't help but stare, thinking of what the Real King told him back then. If Hui Qing was born in a good age, there is also the possibility of becoming a real king. Master the way of heaven. Master time and space. There is very little that can be done in the robbery. Arrive. After the pyramid entered the core, Wuxia stopped Babata, and then pointed to the sun disk and said, "Just above this is the most special place in the entire northern time and space. If you are sure, you can give it a try." There are 2 people in the 7 tribulation realm present. Wuxia and Wutian have not yet reached the 8 tribulation realm level. However, several people in the 6 tribulations realm have the certainty of transcending the calamity. They just want to return to the Qi temple, and have been suppressing them. Now hearing Wuxia's introduction, they are also a little tempted. Jian Wuxuang was not stingy, and directly took out 400 million primordial stones, and handed them over to Dongsheng, Wanyan, Guangying, and Backbone Luo. Although these people do not lack treasures to overcome the calamity, there should not be many primordial stones. It's some kind of thought from him. After all, we have to go back together to face extinction. You're welcome. Seeing their surprised eyes, Jian Wuxuang smiled lightly. Don't be careless about the tribulation. It's not too late to go when you're ready, we still have time. The return only takes 4 epochs. Really not in a hurry. Jian Wuxuang calmed down, took out a mustard seed, and handed it to Hui Qing. There is a treasure in this mustard seed. I think it should be quite suitable for you. You might as well practice. Same for everyone. He took out that eyeball. The chessboard of the sky is transformed, and it is related to the way of heaven, the most suitable for Hui Qing. This. Hui Qing hesitated a bit, but was forcibly shoved into his hand by Jian Wuxuang. Turning his head and looking at Wuxia, the other party must have more treasures than him, so he will not give it. As for Wutian, he really didn't have any treasures to give for a while. And then he thought of the treasures that the Real King gave him, and gave them all to Wutian. That is the treasure needed to cross the 8th robbery. Even if the Realm King gave them treasures to overcome the calamity, there was absolutely no reward for them after they made great achievements in the Willows. Those treasures are of great use to the ordinary Lord of the Universe. But for him it was useless, because he had already made up his mind to take a new path. Destroy the universe with strength. No need for these things. Only the primordial stone, which completely contained the source of divine power, was useful to him. The rest of the treasures have no effect on his realm, and keeping them will take up space, so it's better to give them away. No sky all sky. It was not bad for him at the beginning, and after he changed his mind this time, he was able to return to the Qi temple with him. So naturally he had to take out some treasures to motivate him. Wu Tian was going to refuse. He also wanted face. He had memories of the past. Knowing that Jian Wushuang was still one of his juniors, how could he want the treasures of the juniors? But when his mind power penetrated into the mustard seed, he changed his mind. Now Jian Wushuang has surpassed him and can no longer be counted as juniors. And he chose to return to the Qi temple. So there must be some benefits, right? In this way, he also received the treasure. Jian Wushuang then relaxed. Babada, send me to the sun disk. Swish. As soon as he finished speaking, he was already above the sun disk. Also witnessed the great terror in the core. It is said that it is a great horror, but it is actually the remnant souls left behind after the fall of some cosmos masters. These remnant souls continue to devour and fuse, condensing some terrifying existences. They have soul bodies and use soul power. The strength is not weak. There are many more than 10 million. For the general 8 tribulations realm, it is indeed terrifying. The 8 tribulations realm powerhouses, who want to take risks here, must at least have the strength of the Shenmu King to be able to deal with these terrifying soul bodies. Jian Wushuang just stepped into the sun disk. His expression was also stunned, and he instantly displayed a super ancient transformation. The source is at hand, and it is blessed. Divine power reached 13 million. Chapter 60-23. His current strength is really dangerous on this disc. Not everyone is a realm king. Even those souls have to give face. After those souls saw him, they all gathered around. The disc is very large, and there are many scattered souls. Fortunately, this area is relatively small. If he wants to transcend the calamity here, he must clean up the surrounding soul bodies, and then arrange a large formation. At that time, the rest of the people can also come here to survive the calamity. Otherwise, there are these soul bodies. Not to mention the tribulation, it will be good not to be torn apart. No wonder only Wuxia knew that this place was of great help in transcending the calamity. There are no rumors from the outside world. Those who can come here are the perfect powerhouses of the 8 tribulations realm, and they can't cross the robbery. If you want to help the younger generation, the price is too high. They don't have the protection of pyramids, and they just pass through those dangerous places. And if they get trapped, they will be finished. The 8th tribulation realm can be resisted, but the 7th tribulation realm cannot be resisted. If one is trapped, it will be a billion epochs, and the 7th tribulation realm will die. To sum up, only Jian Wushuang and the others have the ability to bring people to cross the calamity. Jian Wushuang had already drawn a great formation in his heart, and when those soul bodies were besieging him, his figure turned into thousands and flew around. Feel the power brought by the disc. The deity is to resist those soul bodies. Among them, there are several soul bodies whose soul power exceeds 10 million. All around 12 million. Even he couldn't defeat it quickly. I can only pull out the sword of myriad tribulations and want to fight quickly. But at this moment, his clones reached the depths of the disc, and a force directly pressed him out of breath. In an instant, his feet sank to the top of the disc, and he didn't even have the ability to fly. You must know that these clones of him have tens of millions of divine powers, but they cannot fly. This is the core. Jian Wushuang quickly reacted, and with a movement of his thoughts, he covered the surroundings, and found that he had reached the core of the disc at this time. The deity stepped down from the top, and saw some small rings on the disc. 9,999. My deity is within the 1,000 rings, which means that the rings in front of me can't trap me at all. But the 10th ring where my clone is located, I can't move. Wuxia didn't tell him about this. And it seems that this disc is not a mortal thing. The deity lost his fighting spirit at this time, and immediately set off into the depths, leaving behind those ignorant souls, floating on their own. Whoa! The clone returned to the deity in an instant, and his deity stepped into the 10th ring, which was no more than one step away from the first ring, which was the very center of the disc, but he no longer dared to explore further. His deity is in the 10th ring, and can still move. That is to say, the limit here is 13 million divine power. Without this divine power, once you step in, you will probably be trapped. This is not a prohibition, but a control of power. Jian Wushuang stopped and observed for a long time, but could not see any doorway, so he turned his head and wanted to transmit the sound to Wuxia. But before he could speak first, Wuxia rushed to let him go back. Although he was a little surprised, he didn't hesitate. He left the sun disk in a flash, and then ordered Babata to teleport in time and space, and then re-entered the pyramid. After Gu Shan entered the pyramid, he saw a projection in the cabin without waiting for him to ask, and he knew the meaning of calling him back. Lord Realm King. Jian Wushuang. He didn't expect that he would meet the Realm King again so soon, and he was thinking in his heart, could it be because of this place? That sun disk does have some oddities. It must be a treasure, and it cannot be taken away. It is definitely the top treasure, at least the 9 Tribulations realm, which is much more precious than the pyramid. But the next words of the king did not mention the pyramid, but talked about Shilu. I can't find it. Jian Wushuang's eyes sank and he said in surprise, isn't Shilu sent by Lord Realm himself? How can I not find it? The Realm King's expression was also a little embarrassed. The teleportation array he got was indeed very special. It was originally able to monitor Shilu, but when he arrived at the Realm God continent, he found that he could not find Shilu. Jian Wushuang, in fact, this has something to do with you. The Real King told the truth at this time. You will know by trying to restrain your breath now. Jian Wushuang was even more surprised after hearing the words of the Realm King. He directly restrained his breath without hesitation, and then he didn't find anything wrong. That's right. The Realm King slapped his thigh, and then said, Shilu must have possessed your special divine power, and quietly mastered your introverted method. Jian Wushuang couldn't sit still this time, and exclaimed, how is this possible? If this is the case, won't Shilu be super ancient? Thinking of this, he was a little desperate. If Shilu is really going to be super eternity, then the strength will be doubled. Originally, the divine power exceeded 20 million, and it would cost 40 million to display the super ancient transformation. He didn't even dare to think about it. How strong will the opponent be at that time? The pinnacle of the 9 tribulations? The Realm King sighed. This time I have 2 news, both are bad news. Just tell me. Wuxia waited anxiously and couldn't help urging. What they are most worried about now is Xylas' comeback. But it's still another good news. Jia Wang's expression eased again. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief. Seeing Jia Wang's complexion changing, Jian Wushuang knew the good news. It must be that Shilu cannot enter the northern time and space, so the Real King will be so relaxed. So bad news is definitely not bad. Just as he guessed, the Realm King took a breath and said, the good news is that Xylas' divine power is too powerful to enter the northern dimension. And the bad news is that when the life level of the northern dimension improves, Shilu will be able to enter. Ha! Jian Wushuang also breathed a sigh of relief. Then it would be fine. They can take the initiative and trouble Shilu, provided that their strength is enough. It's not good to be stared at. Before the threat of annihilation is lifted, it is not good to be targeted by another terrifying existence. Doesn't that mean that we have enough time to prepare? And Shilu has not recruited practitioners later. Maybe he will not come back to the northern time and space. Wuxia discovered the crux of the matter at this time, and tried to imagine Shilu in a good direction, as much as possible. Crack! A crisp voice sounded. The king snapped his fingers. Almost, Xylas' identity is very special. It was created, although some are aimed at flesh and blood life, but the life level of the northern time and space is too low to satisfy the other party, and there is a high probability that he will not come back. The continent of God is more suitable for the survival of the other party. Chapter 60-24. Lord Realm King. Is Shilu being a threat to Realm God continent? Hui Qing stood up at this time, feeling a little uneasy in his heart, worried that he would cause trouble to Realm God continent. No, the powerhouses of the Realm God continent are much more powerful than the northern time and space. The gods are gathered together, and there is also the Lord Realm God in charge, so there will be no trouble. Realm King God. Hearing this title, everyone leaked curious eyes. The Realm King waved his hand and said indifferently, when you arrive at the Realm God continent, you will understand that some things cannot be said. Lord Realm King, since Shilu is unlikely to come back, then there is nothing to do. Why do you still have two bad news? Jian Wushuang was a little curious, why the real king was a little nervous when he came. This. The Realm King hesitated, then replied slightly euphemistically, one of these two bad news is for you alone. Jian Wushuang pointed to his nose and said in surprise, me? Yes, do you still remember the metal life you killed? The Realm King mentioned the metal light brain at this time, and then continued. Before he fell, he left two perfect metal puppets. And there is also a metal puppet that has not yet been completed, so I won't say much about it. Just talking about the two complete metal puppets, the order to kill you was implanted in their brains. I sent them to the world god continent, by the way. I thought their strength was average. Wait until your strength is enough. I'll tell you later. It's okay to kill them, but this time I met them when I was looking for Shilu. Their divine power has reached the level of the 9 tribulations, and they are still repairing their third puppet, which is the most perfect puppet that the light brain has not created. Once repaired, the threat to you is even greater than that of Siru. Jian Wushuang was completely dumbfounded this time. He didn't stand firm and almost fell. He almost forgot about this. And now he was reminded by the Realm King that he didn't dare to go to the realm of realm gods. There were mortal enemies everywhere. The rest also looked at Jian Wushuang curiously, with a pitiful look in their eyes. But don't worry too much. Even if they find a way to enter the northern time and space, I will inform you in advance and give you a time to prepare. The king comforted. But Jian Wushuang was even more difficult to accept. I didn't kill all the brains at the beginning, but it was also for the northern time and space. Now to be hunted down, the Realm King must be responsible for this matter. Some unhappy Realm Kings said at this time. Aren't you going to cross the calamity? I will borrow the yin and yang life and death wheel here, and I will use it once to ensure that you can successfully cross the calamity, provided that the realm is sufficient, and the realm is not enough, and the immortals can't help. Jian Wushuang was not happy at all. He can successfully transcend the calamity anywhere, but he just wants to save some primordial stones. But the Realm King is also poor now. And for Jian Wushuang he is poor, because there are no treasures that can be obtained. Can only take the matter of yin and yang life and death fairy robbery, vague in the past. Okay, that's it. After you have successfully transcended the calamity, it is enough to deal with the destruction of life. You can cultivate well at that time, and you can go to the realm god continent at any time. The third puppet has not been completely repaired yet. You should do it as soon as possible. Jian Wushuang could only grit his teeth and nod. By the way, I heard that you gave Tian Song your world god token in exchange for a treasure. Next time you need to go to me directly. You don't have to get someone to exchange it with your world god token. He said generously, and took out another one, and threw it to him. The sword is unparalleled. After a flash, he left the pyramid, and entered the yin and yang wheel of life and death. After a while the upper part was cleared. Jian Wushuang, who had lost his temper, had no choice but to take down the decree of the realm, and with the people who wanted to cross the calamity, he entered the yin and yang wheel of life and death. If nothing else, the Realm King is absolutely reliable in this matter. After stepping on the disc again, Jian Wushuang found that there was no resistance. Directly into the first ring. You come one by one. I won't stay here any longer. I wish you good luck. After speaking, the projection of the Realm King disappeared, leaving Jian Wushuang and others above the disc. Call. Taking a deep breath, Jian Wushuang stretched out his hand. Which one of you will come first? He took a long time to overcome the calamity, so he gave this opportunity to others first. Dongxing is gearing up at this time, and he has reached the limit of the 6 tribulations realm, and he is the first to step into the first ring. Start robbery. Guhum. The god's quantity tribulation, on Dongxing's body, just stayed for a while, and then disappeared instantly. Obviously, after the divine body has reached its limit, for the 7th robbery, it is pediatrics. It was over in an instant. The most difficult thing is the supreme calamity of the source. Their origin universe is everywhere. At this time, to transcend the calamity, It is necessary to connect the deity and the universe, and then descend to the highest calamity. Looking at Dongsheng's face, it was also very relaxed, and the time of the day was easily passed. Both the source and the divine power have been enhanced. Congratulations! Jian Wushuang and the others handed over. Dongsheng laughed loudly and said, "This place is really unusual. I want to continue to transcend the eighth calamity." Wan Yan, who was originally in a heavy heart, rarely leaked a smile. This time, when the Realm King came, he also brought a piece of good news. It's just that this good news is a little insignificant when compared with the safety of the North Time and Space. Yiling Xiao is reborn. After the reincarnation, Yiling Xiao was in the middle reaches of time and space. When they return, they can also take a look. Whether Wan Yan can resume the front line depends on the other party's ability. After Dongsheng succeeded, the second one was Wan Yan. It also took about a day to complete the success. The main reason is that the origin of the universe is too far away. Otherwise it would be faster. The calamity of the divine body is accomplished in an instant. No matter how slow the source is, I am afraid it can be done in half an hour at most. And after the two brothers successfully crossed the calamity, their divine power has been greatly improved. Now the basic divine power is more than 2,500,000. The Lord of Light and Shadow, and the Backbone Luo also successfully survived the calamity one after another. The two of them were slightly stronger than Dongsheng and Wan Yan, and their divine power had reached 3 million. If they can also master the Source Dojo, I am afraid that their strength is not weak. It is a pity that there is no blessing from the Dojo Akanshu. The peak state of calm is more than 4 million divine powers at most. Although Jian Wushuang's origin universe is in God's body, it can be taken out at any time. Logically speaking, transcending tribulation is the easiest. But he has an intuition, this time to cross the calamity, it will take at least 10,000 years. The calamity of the divine body. This level is not easy for him. This is not what it used to be. God's body mass robbery will re-smash the God's body and get a new life. It also heralds his rebirth. How can it be normal? The new cultivation path to be taken must be changed from the transcendence of tribulation. He would say that divine power should be suppressed under the basic divine power to transcend calamity. Chapter 60-25. This will wash out the purest divine power. Brother Wushuang, I see you. After Dongsheng and Wan Yan succeeded in crossing, they all looked at Jian Wushuang, looking forward to Jian Wushuang's calamity. Their tribulation was so smooth, and they thought that Jian Wushuang would be the same. Moreover, Jian Wushuang is more powerful, and it is relatively easy to cross the tribulation. But only Jian Wushuang knew that his own calamity might not be easy. Step out. An afterimage was left in the void. After entering the first ring, immediately, it triggered the calamity of God's body. The basic divine power exploded completely. 3 million. The Lord of Light and Shadow found that Jian Wushuang did not use all his strength, but only used his basic divine power, and said in surprise, "So confident that you don't even use secret techniques? The seventh robbery is only 3 million divine power is enough." The Backbone Luo next to him has also become a lot more honest, and gave a fair evaluation. Hui Qing in the pyramid didn't think so, because the power contained in that calamity is even more terrifying than his eighth calamity. Jian Wushuang was suspended in the air, his fists clenched. The amount of calamity erupted from the body of God. The power that attracted the starry sky began to wash the divine body. Divine power has also begun to differentiate. 1 life is 2, 2 is 3, 3 is infinite. It was scattered continuously until it reached the limit of Jian Wushuang. 3 million divine powers were divided into trillions. This is his limit. The divine power was decomposed to the limit, and the amount of calamity induced in the starry sky also began to wash away the decomposed divine power. One after another, the blue thunder continued to crush the divine power of Jian Wushuang, and after it was smashed, it recovered again, week by week. This is the first time everyone has seen such a terrifying atmosphere. They are all emotional. No wonder he is so strong. The tribulation is different from us. The Lord of Light and Shadow widened his eyes and clenched his fists. Only at this moment did they understand where the gap was. In fact, Jian Wushuang is also the first time to cross this kind of calamity. Since we are going out of a new way, then you will have to cross the strongest calamity. Cleanse power. A catastrophe becomes 1,000 catastrophe. This is just the beginning. For every calamity, he has to wash it thousands of times. Then the second calamity came. It was twice as strong as the last calamity. The third time is triple. 10,000 calamities is 10,000 times. It takes 10 years for each calamity. 10,000 kalpas is 100,000 years. Jian Wushuang frowned. It was the first time he had triggered the calamity from the starry sky. Ordinary practitioners, the amount of calamity actually comes from their own divine body. So is his. But the origin universe in his divine body has the power of the starry sky. Therefore, it is also the calamity of the starry sky. The rest of the practitioners came from their own calamities. The supreme catastrophe that the origin universe is going to cross also comes from the northern time and space. Because they are practitioners of the northern time and space, not to induce the supreme catastrophe in the starry sky. Starry sky. Jian Wushuang narrowed his eyes slightly. The calamity I crossed came from my starry sky. Self-robbery. Self-reinforcing. This is indeed unprecedented. Originally attached to the power of the source, now he pays more attention to the divine body and divine power. The stronger the calamity, the stronger the help to him. He didn't have any worries, instead he was eager to try. 100,000 years of washing. He wants to see what kind of realm his divine power will reach. Boom! The first robbery is over. 10 years have passed. Even Huiqing and others came to the disc to watch his tribulation. I actually learned the secret technique of divine power during Brother Wushuang's calamity. The Lord of Light and Shadow couldn't help exclaiming, and then continued to comprehend and practice. It seems that Jian Wushuang is regarded as a treasure. Everyone sat in a group and began to comprehend and practice. In particular, the 4 people who succeeded in transcending the calamity this time are not in a hurry to absorb blood energy, and they have all improved their magical powers one by one. Jian Wushuang didn't care, and continued to wash his divine power. After the first calamity, his divine power disintegrated again, and continued to wash after disintegration. The basic power is still 3 million, but he has the confidence to use the power of 3 million to defeat the powerhouse with the power of 5 million. This is the divine power after cleansing. As the amount of robbery continues to fall, the 4th, the 5th, the 100th, the 1000th, his divine power has spread to the entire starry sky. Of course, the decomposed divine power is in his source starry sky, not the outer starry sky. Jian Wushuang held it with one hand, and the entire origin starry sky trembled. He even has an urge to break his origin. Soon he suppressed the urge. Break through all methods. Not breaking your own laws. Breaking one's own source starry sky. Isn't that self-breaking? Jian Wushuang endured this plan. The divine power is constantly growing, and the amount of calamity is also growing stronger. The first time he measured the robbery, he began to use those primordial stones. It cost tens of thousands of pieces. Now the 1000th calamity has cost him hundreds of millions of primordial stones. Much bigger than his budget. This is just the beginning. If it is completely crossed, I am afraid it will cost tens of billions of primordial stones. If it weren't for the special reasons here, I'm afraid that 30 billion primordial stones won't be enough this time. He was still careless. If it wasn't for Wu's reminder, I'm afraid he would fail the calamity. Without sufficient reserves of primordial stones, he cannot always restore his origin. If the source is not restored, there will be no power of all things. The cornerstone of divine power is all things. With the constant replenishment of the power of all things, he can transform into divine power. Treating every wash like this can control your basic divine power at its peak. And he can't use arcane spells. If a secret technique is used, the divine power that is washed when transcending the calamity is the divine power that is amplified by the secret technique. After the tribulation is successful, the basic divine power will not be improved in any way. Originally the basic divine power, the color should be invisible. Using the power of the beast is dark red. Cast super eternal transformation, it is blue. Now his basic divine power, without using secret techniques, has turned pale golden. And with the number of washes, the color gets darker and darker. Although the basic divine power has not increased, his current divine power is 10,000 yuan worth 20,000 yuan to others. The foundation of divine power has been substantially leaped forward. He will get stronger and stronger. The 9,999th robbery. Break. Boom. Facing the thunder arc outside his body, he punched the ground. That is the yin and yang wheel of life and death. According to what the realm king said, this is a super treasure. But he was punched and dented. There is one last calamity. Quantity of calamities has survived tens of thousands of calamities. Every culpa is divided into 10,000 times. Divine power change. The last catastrophe came from the starry sky. But it is not his starry sky, but the outer starry sky. What? Jian Wuxuang suddenly looked up at the sky. A golden calamity fell from the sky. In the endless power, there is the highest punishment in this world. That was a catastrophe that surpassed the supreme rules of the starry sky. Too bad is not good. We'll be jealous of God. Chapter 60:26. But now Jian Wuxuang is not afraid at all. And his body is actually facing Lei Jia. I want to smash the thunder tribulation in advance. The divine power decomposed in his source starry sky was also quickly unified. The moment he returned to his body, Jian Wuxuang felt an unprecedented strength, clenched his fists and struck hard. Boom! A strand of golden fish that descended from the starry sky appeared from the calamity. This scene made everyone who was enlightened stunned. It was the first time they saw the quantum tribulation transformation. No matter what happens now, Jian Wuxuang is not surprised. Break your own boundaries and transcend the cultivation path of this world. It is normal for anything to appear in the calamity of measure and the calamity of the highest. But when he was about to attack the golden fish, he found that the 5 holes began to bleed before he got close to the golden fish. For a while, he was the only one who heard it. It was a voice he had never heard before that entered his mind. It's really over the top. In the starry sky, Weiss, one of the 12 star spirits, watched Jian Wuxuang's tribulation, and beside him was a purple-skinned hairless cat, standing in the shape of a human, with pricked ears and a very small appearance. He still didn't understand who Weiss said. Thinking it was me, he threw his fists hard and kept attacking Wes. While parrying, Weiss stared at Jian Wuxuang. I feel that the road Jian Wuxuang is going to take is too harsh. In fact, he was already very suitable for Jian Wuxuang when he took out the ultimate intention skill. If you don't become a god, you can also become the top group of practitioners in this world. Why go to find yourself unhappy? Snapped. The distracted Weiss was punched in the fight. He was not angry at all, but said with joy, "Beerus, it seems that your destructive power has increased again." After talking about his breath, he raised it by another level, and he knocked Beerus back with a single blow. Jian Wuxuang is in big trouble here. He can't get close to the golden fish at all, and he has no way to solve it. He simply returned to the ground, and after regaining his basic divine power, he clenched his fists with both hands, and his body suddenly swelled in a circle, and his body became extremely inflated. Come on, let me see how strong you are. He will use his physical body to fight hard. Could it be that the amount of calamity in this transformation, he could not attack him? At most it was a cleansing of divine power. Puff! Then he was dumbfounded. The golden fish hovered in the sky, sprinting, smashing his divine body at an angle he couldn't understand. It was as if a cold spear had pierced through the tofu. Extremely simple. Jian Wuxuang felt unbelievable that such a powerful divine body was broken open by a single blow. After repairing the body in a hurry, there is also a trace of fear. But then the golden fish kept attacking him. It didn't have the effect of cleansing the divine power, but it hurt him once. After being injured, stay for no more than 1 breath before attacking again. Give him the primordial stone. The divine power is infinite, and he can instantly restore the divine power with just 1 breath. But every time he attacked, he became stronger. And the speed is also getting faster. He couldn't take it anymore. I really want to use Super Eternal Transformation to try how powerful the opponent is. Not only is it consumed, but his primordial stone is not enough. There is also the supreme calamity of the source, and there is no crossing. He no longer dared to resist. When the golden fish rushed again, Jian Wushuang was furious. Super everlasting change. A wave of dark blue aura stirred up thousands of waves. Unconsciously, he completely mastered the super eternal change. Arrived in perfect condition. The super ancient transformation in the complete state. The divine power has been increased by 100 times. Converted to divine power, it is 6 million. Anyway, he used the secret method. And he no longer deliberately suppressed himself. The robbery also appeared on the body. The crazy running robbery also began to absorb the golden amount of robbery. Robbery, the perfect super eternity, and the blessing of the original dojo. His divine power directly exceeded 18 million. The golden fish slammed into his divine body again, like a stupid donkey heading towards a tree stump. Jian Wushuang raised his hand and pinched the fish with 2 fingers, then threw it out. The figure flashed, and when he got behind the golden fish, he punched out, directly smashing the mighty golden fish. Countless golden divine powers appeared in the void. His robbery armor, at this time, began to continuously absorb that golden power. The golden power skyrocketed. The divine power that Jiejia brought to him instantly broke 2 million. The golden power also disappeared. The calamity is over. Jian Wushuang felt the changes in his whole body. He clenched his fists and felt the extraordinary power. He even has the confidence to hit Qi Jiuxiao with 1 punch now. Although somewhat unlikely, the peak of Qi Jiuxiao, 30 million divine power. He should not be an opponent. But the complete Shilu, he is confident to defeat. As for extinction, this is the northern time and space. The strongest divine power is no more than 20 million. This time, without any help, he was able to defeat Disheng. Full of confidence. Unprecedented. Confidence in yourself. After discovering that Jian Wushuang had successfully survived the calamity, everyone stopped cultivating. The golden divine power just now also benefited the people who were enlightened. Everyone, wait for me for a quarter of an hour. Chapter 60-27. The moment he opened his eyes, he let out a heavy sigh of turbid air. And just as his body was about to move, he felt a pain. The pain was heart-wrenching. When the divine body was washed, he was able to endure it, and he got used to it later. But after losing that kind of washing and tempering, he felt the pain. One didn't stand still and just lay down. Everyone rushed forward, Wuxia said with red eyes. It's over, Wushuang brother failed to cross the robbery, it's gone. Disband, Wuxia wailed. Hearing the word disband, Jian Wushuang sat up directly and said with a dark face, I'm not dead yet. Even if I fail to cross the robbery, I'm still in the robbery, and I won't die. After saying that, he really fainted. I was really tired this time. After closing his eyes, only a trace of thought force felt the situation in front of him. After everyone exchanged their understanding of cultivation and tribulation, they got him into the pyramid. Then Babata sent him into the rest cabin, where there is life liquid. The whole person is directly soaked in the green liquid. The pyramid was under the control of Babata and left the secret realm of Taishu. The destination this time is the original universe. Qi Temple. I am back. The rest are either cultivating or discussing Taoism in the Qingquan Hall. Travel through the 9 time spaces and enter the real barren land, whereas the rapids of the time-space rivers. Not suitable for opening up time and space. When the goddess opened up time and space, they all chose the depths of the upper reaches, and the rest of the time and space were the same. Originally upstream, the Realm King opened up 3 long rivers of time and space, have grown into eternity, but it has existed forever. The rest of the time and space are those who fell to the 9 tribulations realm to open up the time and space. Most of them fell directly after opening up time and space. Just like the giant Jian Wushuang met in the starry sky, opened up the world and died from exhaustion. Flying in the barren land is the most boring. It took an entire era before they left the upstream. Passing through the intersection is the most dangerous. They didn't even see a cultivator along the way. No one will find it unhappy and go to the middle reaches, or even the lower reaches. Of course, there are also some space-time channels that can enter the middle reaches, but those channels are not stable. It is not as good as the channel created by the true spirit. However, at the beginning, there was also a secret help from the Realm King. Otherwise the little old man of Zhenling would not be able to handle such a big thing. After the pyramid completely entered the middle reaches of time and space, Jian Wushuang woke up. This time he was really tired, sleeping for an epoch, only gradually recovered. After such a long period of inactivity, as soon as I got up, my body made a sound. Chapter 60-28. Life and death have been completed, and his sword of reincarnation can come naturally. Once you get started, everything will be easy. In fact, it was the death sword that stuck with him all the time. Once the barrier is broken, everything will come. Jian Wushuang understands this truth. The Starry Sky catalog is not the same as the super-eternal change. Super-eternal transformation belongs to the secret technique of increase, tightly bound together with divine power. However, the Starry Sky catalog is the strongest stunt in his original kendo, is the main killing. This is fundamentally different. Super-eternal change, he is not so anxious. Always pay attention to a gradual cycle. It was also in the river bottom world that it broke out completely, and let him master it in advance. Now that he has reached the consummation realm, his pursuit is not very high. I didn't think about continuing to create, and continued to move towards the origin of kendo. The first 5 swords of kendo have a clear line. The 6th sword, everlasting, is also an enemy. Now that I think about the name pattern, it's a bit small. He can now match the eternal existence. The peak of divine power is 18 million, and his divine power is more pure and more violent. It can completely match the eternal existence. That requires a 6th sword. The 6th sword is really about to come out, and he can almost cut the 9 tribulations realm. Thinking of this, he couldn't help but smile. The cultivation of the secret method does not happen overnight. It requires a lot of time to study. One by one, the Dharma bodies began to be busy in different ways. Have a complete Tao heart, multi-purpose, and there is no discomfort. Whoa! On the deity's side, the robbery armor and the beast soldier were taken out. The role of robbery armor is actually not as good as that of beast soldiers. It is a pity that his beast soldier contains the power of the beast god, which is different from the power of the super ancient starry sky. Superposition is not possible. If you want to stack them together, at least the power of the beast must be consistent with the power of the starry sky. Now the source of the divine beast soldier, he can easily be elevated to the perfection level of the 8 tribulations realm. But for him now, it's of no use. The robbery armor is different. The enhancement is the basic divine power, which perfectly matches his divine aura. Now his basic divine aura is golden. The robbery armor also turned golden. Be consistent with him. An increase of 2 million divine power is nothing to him. But if it can be superimposed, it will be different. Beast God Soldier. Jian Wushuang gently stroked, raising the origin of the beast god to the extreme. When I return to Qishan Temple, I will see if I can find the other 8 beast divine soldiers, and I hope we can fight together in the future. When his finger touched the eye of the beast god, he thought a lot. Feather Continent. He thought of the world of trials. When he first obtained the eye of the beast god, he was only using the field of the power of the beast god to suppress others. At the beginning, I knew very little about divine power. Even a single thought of the universe is used to suppress others. Later I learned that it was after his dojo. Try to improve your own power. Gradually groping, let him master more. After being silent for a while, he put away the beast soldier, which is useless now. If you really can't find the other 8 beast soldiers, then give this beast weapon to someone, or keep it as a collection. Collection is a bit of a waste. It is better to give it away. Let it continue to fight. This is the return of the treasure. He took in the beast's soldiers and put on robbery armor. The golden aura spread. Jian Wushuang burst into golden aura, surrounded by electric arcs. The basic divine power is 3 million, plus the 2 million brought by the robbery. It is 5 million basic divine power. The normal state of the 7 tribulations realm is comparable to the top threshold of the 8 tribulations realm. And he can continue to absorb the power of blood, freedom and ultimate intention. He had only seen it in Whis, which he could not even do with a beginner. Obviously so ordinary, but it made him helpless. This is the strongest secret technique he has ever seen. Unspeakably powerful. In my mind, I kept simulating the ultimate freedom technique. I thought I could explore some of it after the 7 tribulations realm, but I didn't expect that I still couldn't understand it. There is no way to get started, and he can't even look at the leopard in the tube. It would be great if Weiss was still there, and he could also ask the other party for advice. Forget it, there's still a lot of time in the future. Jian Wushuang shook his head, not bothering about this. Before you know it, a lot of time has passed. Time to go out and breathe. The law bodies are still cultivating and fighting. The deity entered the Qingquan temple leisurely. Well, Wu Zhuo got up first, holding a glass of wine, and came over. Brother Wushuang, you finally showed up. I heard from Babata that you were already awake, and I didn't know you would show up. In the Qingquan hall, Huiqing was sitting quietly, while Wanyan fell into anticipation, looking forward to seeing Yi Lingxiu's reincarnation as soon as possible. Wu Zhuo, on the other hand, was drinking alone. The idiot Wanyan couldn't urinate in a pot, and Huiqing sat in meditation again, ignoring him. After seeing Jian Wushuang coming, he was very happy, and quickly gave up a position and filled Jian Wushuang with wine. After waking up, it was still a little unnatural, so I stabilized my realm. He was naturally rude, and after sitting down, he touched Wu Zhuo and chatted casually. Wanyan came over at this time and asked, Wushuang, how far is it from the world where Ling Xiao was reincarnated? This Jian Wushuang didn't know either. Just when he was stunned, Babata flew over and gave the answer. The distance, the time and space of the tower, there are still 100,000 years. Wu Zhuo frowned and reprimanded. Wanyan, you're almost done this way. You ask every few years, she won't run away again. What are you anxious about? Brother Wu Zhuo, you can't say that. It's normal for Wanyan to be anxious. Jian Wushuang saw Wanyan's expression a little embarrassed, so he comforted. Wanyan, don't worry, Lord Jiawang said it, there should be more. Some memories, and I also reminded the other party, maybe they are waiting for you. Wanyan looked excited and nodded sharply. I hope so. At this time, Huiqing also opened his eyes and saw Jian Wushuang, felt an aura of divine power no less than his, and said, Congratulations, Brother Wushuang. It's nothing, I just barely followed your footsteps. Jian Wushuang hummed modestly. Wu Zhuo next to him exclaimed, Brother Wushuang, your basic divine power has reached 15 million? No way, no way. Jian Wushuang smiled and waved his hand, but when he heard 15 million divine power, he was stunned, turned his head and said to Wu Zhuo, Why do you say 1500 the power of the gods? Wu Zhuo touched his head, pointed blankly at Huiqing and said, While you were sleeping, Huiqing's basic divine power has been raised to 15 million. It's just luck, thanks to those auras. Huiqing smiled lightly. Jian Wushuang was a little surprised. He originally thought that Huiqing would not use those blood-colored breaths, but he still absorbed it. Chapter 60-29. Because of his arrival, it was rare for the four of them to sit together and chat and drink. Cultivation also needs to pay attention to a certain degree of relaxation. You can't just shut down. In fact, Wu Zhuo and their strength are at the top of the team. Not in a hurry. Wanyan didn't have the heart to cultivate because of the Taoist companion. Otherwise, you will go to practice. At the peak of Wu Zhuo's 7 tribulations realm, his divine power is almost 10 million. Not to mention Huiqing. Jian Wushuang's head grew big when he heard that his divine power was 15 million. Of course, it wasn't because he was jealous that Huiqing was stronger than him. Now his strength can't be calculated purely by numbers. The strength and purity of divine power make him not afraid of any opponent. Even if it is an ancient existence, with 20 million basic divine power, he can still fight against the opponent. It's just that Huiqing chose to absorb the blood-colored breath, which made him a little surprised. Huiqing's character is like his white robe, not dirty. Absorbing the blood-colored breath is actually adding karma to oneself in disguise, because those blood-colored breaths all came from the spiritual power and life of the practitioners. According to Huiqing's character in the past, he would not absorb it. And he chose the shortcut. I'm afraid it's not that simple. He didn't ask much, so he kept it in his heart. 100,000 years pass quickly. Several people often drink and take turns, and when they encounter some strange sights, they will stop for a while. Of course it won't be too long. Now they don't have that leisure. At least we have to find Wanyan's Tao companion. The more you enter the depths of midstream time and space, the more practitioners they meet. In the middle, Wuxia also personally captured some of the cosmos masters of the Seven Tribulations realm, searched their souls, and then let them go. Some confidence in the midstream time and space was injected into Babata's light brain. Soon I will talk about the power structure of the entire midstream space-time, and some backgrounds will be clarified. The long river of time and space in the middle reaches. There are many tributaries. Not like the upstream, there are only 9 tributaries, and many of them were opened up by super powerhouses. The middle reaches are different. No one has opened up the long river of time and space. It's all a river of time and space formed by nature. Every branch has a time and space. These time and space may intersect and go hand in hand. Every time and space is at a peak. A total of 36 articles. That is 36 time and space. Among them, the Tower of Time and Space is at the end. The entire space-time is actually the background of an 8-star sect in the ancient moon space-time. Not to mention compared to those eternal worlds. In the entire middle reaches of time and space, I am afraid that there will be no 58 tribulations realm powerhouses. But there is one thing, it is much stronger than the 9 major time and space upstream. Because most of the powerhouses in the 8 tribulations realm here are the masters of the universe. Especially the mainstream space-time, abyss space-time, ranked first in the middle reaches at the same time. There are 3 lords of the 8 tribulations realm universe. Divided into old, middle and young, the 3 masters of the universe. Not a single robbery. The strong are rare, but there are many treasures. The power of life is enough to supply those scattered tribulations. Even if it is scattered robbery, they always maintain their peak state. This is a young age. The upstream is more like a stable state after the expansion period, while the midstream looks younger and less deep. As for the downstream space-time of the primordial universe, it is more stretched. Belonging to childhood, there are not many masters of the universe. Babata, there is news about Morwa time and space. Jian Wuxuang couldn't help asking the original Morwa time and space. The moment I heard the name, Wuxia's complexion also sank. Morwa time and space, that is a more distant era. But compared with those upstream forces, it is actually not far away. I found out that Mo Luo's time and space has now changed its name, and is called the Nian Mysterious Realm. It is an ultimate time and space mystery, which is more advanced than the upstream time and space, and it is extremely dangerous. According to records, there are more than 10 seven tribulation realms in the universe. The Lord has fallen inside. Years of mystery. Wuxia has memories in his eyes, trying to recall the original Morwa time and space. He was very young at that time. After becoming a named disciple of Qishan, he learned that there is still a lot of time and space in the outside world. It's just that he never went out. Crossing time and space requires the strength of the Lord of the universe. No one expected the disaster at the beginning. It is only one of the creation of Qi Temple. And Wuxia was not able to participate in the last battle. He kept saying it, but he knew in his heart why he didn't participate in the first place. Because of fear. The Lord of the universe has fallen. As an emperor, he was immediately frightened, and he hid in the Qi Temple, and did not dare to go out. The aftermath alone seriously injured him. Seeing Wuxia's face a little embarrassed, Jian Wuxuang patted him on the shoulder and said calmly, "We have become stronger, don't worry." When they found Wanyan's Tao companion at the time and space of the Divine Tower, they stopped by the way to visit the mysterious realm of Nian, to see what the original time and space of Moro looked like. Also take a look at why it perished in the first place, and looking for signs of extinction, helpful to them all. The pyramid continued to rotate, puncturing time and space, and completely entering the world where practitioners were. In the gaps between these long rivers of time and space, there is a barren land. The barren land is because the surrounding time and space have absorbed all the power and origin into the long river of time and space, and the land is untouched. There is only desolation left. In the desolation, there is some popularity. Some masters of the universe are traveling in vain to enter other time and space. There is no danger here. On the contrary, the lords of the universe who want to go upstream are a little unlucky. Except for reincarnation, it is almost difficult to get upstream, unless the divine power is extremely powerful, and there is a treasure nearby. Going upstream is too difficult, not like top-down. At the beginning, Fan Tianfeng was riding a super treasure, with a group of strong people, even the flame gods. After I don't know how many epochs, I reached the original universe. Distance, the time and space of the tower. There is still time for a stick of incense. Wanyan was so excited that she stood up. Babata continued to introduce. The world of the tower, as the name suggests, has a leaning tower that has existed since ancient times. The history of life in time and space is currently occupied by the ancient Tower Kingdom. The ancient Pagoda Kingdom has a strong man in the 8 Tribulations realm, with a divine power between 6 million and 8 million. 4 billion years ago, because of the exploration of the mysterious realm of the year, he lost his origin universe. Listening to the introduction to the time and space of the Divine Tower, everyone was very relaxed. Because Yi Lingxiao had to stop for a while, after being reborn, Yi Lingxiao had a new identity, so it was impossible to just follow Wanyan. They will definitely stay for a while, and they have to go to the mysterious realm of Nian, after the destruction of Moro time and space, and they will stop for a while. I also informed the rest of the people that anyone who wants to go out and take a breath can come down and walk around. However, the rest of the people were digesting and absorbing the divine power, and were not interested in it. The core of the ancient Pagoda Kingdom also appeared in the sky. It was the first time that Jian Wushuang had seen the 6 secret realms of time and space together. I am afraid that the super-secret realm of the entire Divine Tower time and space is here. It is regarded as the capital of the ancient Pagoda Kingdom. Of the 6 secret realms, only one is for outsiders. The other 5 secret realms are all places where the ancient Pagoda clans practiced. There are sects, cities, caves, palaces, and places of trials. Extremely luxurious. When Wuxia saw this scene, he couldn't help but exclaimed, "It's quite spectacular." In the future, when the Qi Temple is rebuilt, it will be created according to this model. The secret realm in Qi Temple is also concentrated. It's just that the 4 secret realms belong to the secret realm of the universe. It is far from the secret realm of time and space. A space-time secret realm is as big as dozens or hundreds of universes. Although the original Moro time and space was also in the middle reaches, the background was too poor. And Kishin's strength looking at it now is just like that. At most one big power can be created, not even the top power. At that time, it was also due to the lack of resources in Moro's time and space, coupled with the threat of annihilation, and Kishin's self-destruction of the avenue. To know the powerhouse of Moro time and space, Kishin is the only one. Although the 3 major gods are the masters of the universe in the 6 tribulations realm, in the entire middle reaches of time and space, the 6 tribulations realm is even less impressive. There are too many doubts about the original Moro time and space, and they have to find them one by one after they go to the mysterious realm of the year. The most urgent task now is to find Yi Lingxiao's reincarnation. Jian Wushuang pointed to the 6 secret realms in the sky and asked, "Wanyan, is there a clear location? I'm looking for it." Wanyan held her breath, thinking that she didn't dare to miss any corner, carefully looking for Yi Lingxiu's position. In desperation, his mind power was also exposed. Such a bold exploration of the core of the ancient pagoda kingdom will definitely attract attention. Although the ancestor of the ancient pagoda kingdom is only a robbery, he is also a powerhouse in the 8 tribulation realm. With 6 or 7 million divine power, plus the blessing of the Great Formation here, he is also a top-level 8 tribulation realm. Wang Yin's thought power simply couldn't escape the other party's detection. Boom. Not good. Jian Wushuang felt a powerful aura that erupted in the 6 secret realms. Wang Yin couldn't take care of it anymore at this time, so she just forcibly investigated. No. He looked incredulous. I just felt Yi Lingxiu's breath, but that breath seemed to be disappearing. In other words, it is the breath of the owner. Belonged to rootless water, is drying up. In the current situation, either Yi Lingxiu is about to perish, or he has stayed here for a while and has now left. Jian Wushuang, who originally wanted to keep a low profile, no longer concealed it, and in a flash, he pulled Wang Yin and left the pyramid together. Midstream spacetime, unlike upstream spacetime. Occasionally, 2 mysterious 7 tribulations realm appeared, and no one doubted it. But this place is different. Once it appears, I am afraid it will arouse everyone's suspicion. They didn't want to stay here too long, and naturally they didn't want to cause trouble, so they wanted to hide themselves. It's just that people have discovered it now, and if you hide it again, you will be shocked by the grass. It's better to show up directly. Swish. The 2 appeared in the sky above the 6 secret realms. The aura of the 7 tribulations realm was directly exposed. Divine power is introverted. If the 2 of them reveal their divine power, I am afraid which of the 8 tribulation realm powerhouses, in the time and space of the divine tower, will be too frightened to come out. After they leaked the breath of the 7 tribulations realm, which ancestor really relaxed his vigilance? It can't be said to be vigilant. It can only be said that it is not so fearful. 2 fellow Taoists, I wonder what happened to the time and space of my tower. A steady voice resounded throughout the world, but only the 2 of them could hear it. The other party was also extremely careful and didn't ask much, just asked why he came here. Jian Wushuang saw Wang Yin's expression a little dazed, so he stood up. I'm here to find friends. I'm just a little rude. The approach just now was indeed a bit rash, and directly used the power of thought to probe the opponent's nest. Whoa! Time and space shattered a hole, and an old face appeared in front of them. It was the 8 tribulations realm powerhouse of the Divine Tower Kingdom. Senior Divine Tower. Jian Wushuang slightly cupped his hands. The Taoist name of the other party is the Divine Tower, and the name of the time and space of the Divine Tower also comes from the Taoist number of the other party. This is normal. Chapter 6031. Just like the time and space of the ancient moon. In fact, the word ancient moon also comes from the goddess. Earlier, it was called time and space, but it was changed later. The tower found that the 2 were also familiar with each other, but they were a little surprised that they could not see through their identities, so they continued. Oh, since you are looking for someone, you might as well name your name. People. As soon as these words came out, I smelled some gunpowder, and it was obvious that I was worried about what happened just now. This is actually normal. Jian Wushuang smiled awkwardly, glanced at Wang Yin next to him, and motioned for him to speak. He didn't know Yi Lingxiu's cause and effect, nor did he know the exact location. I'm looking for this person. Wang Yin swiped casually, took out a mass of karma, and threw it to the tower. In this breath, there is Yi Lingxiu's cause and effect. If the other party really knows, that's the best. Moreover, Yi Lingxiu's location, the place where he is located, is the core of the 6 secret realms, and he is obviously also a member of the royal family of the Kingdom of Gods. The Realm King really didn't break his promise. Yi Lingxiu's identity after reincarnation was no less than the original Yi family. After seeing that it was a cause and effect, the tower became even more puzzled. After he took it, he just glanced at it. His expression did not change, and smiled lightly. The 2 of you may have misremembered the breadth of this cause and effect. It seems that you have never been to the time and space of my tower. Really, Jian Wushuang's face pulled down. He could see that the other party was lying. The reason why he was so polite now was for Yilingxio's sake. If they dare to hide it, they don't mind and force their way into the search. But don't doubt their strength. Even if the powerhouses in the entire middle reaches of time and space add up, it is not enough for Jian Wushuang to fight alone. The Tower of the Gods came out directly from the whole of time and space. Standing in front of the two was the deity, divine power slowly rising. Dark flames filled the space and time, his eyes fixed on the two, and his voice was cold. Yes. She is not here. Jian Wushuang had already transmitted a sound transmission to Wan Yan. Just let him go in directly. I will stop the tower myself. He also smashed the super array of the 6 secret realms directly by the way. And everything happened in the blink of an eye. The tower did not respond, and found that there was already a ruin behind him. The big array was broken in an instant. Wan Yan directly entered the 6 secret realms. Jian Wushuang stopped the tower. You'd better not do it, it's good for everyone. Clang. Draw the sword directly. When he drew his sword, the pyramid also appeared from the void. Hui Qing and Wuxia also came out. The two just leaked their basic divine power, so they stunned the tower. Wuxia's divine power is not bad, but the basic divine power is not as good as the tower. But Hui Qing's basic divine power is more than 10 million. You? Who are you? This time the tower was completely honest, and kept retreating, but was stopped by Wuxia. Jian Wushuang was playing Wan Jia, originally to scare him, but he didn't expect Hui Qing and Wuxia to come, and they stunned the other party. He put the sword of myriad tribulations away again and said, Senior Shenta, don't be afraid. As I said, I'm just here to find someone. And it seems that the person I'm looking for has something to do with you. Maybe it's still one. Good thing, what do you think? Shenta swallowed, and after he saw the cause and effect, he knew who Jian Wushuang and the others were looking for. And the relationship between that person and him is really good. But my granddaughter, it's a direct relative. Really good thing for him. The Tower of the Gods, who was a little trembling, first glanced at Hui Qing, but with just one glance, his mind couldn't help trembling, and he couldn't see through it all. But he was able to guess that it was definitely more than 10 million divine powers. And he was a person from the 8 Tribulations realm, Lord of the Universe, much stronger than his peak. It is definitely not an ordinary person to be able to come to the 6 secret realms quietly. Don't look for it, she's really not here. The tower's complexion was a little lonely. Wuxia thought that the other party was lying again, so he threatened. Old guy, don't fool us otherwise. After speaking, he glanced at the 6 secret realms with a smirk on his face. Swish. No. After Wan Yan came out of the 6 secret realms, her face was a little dignified. She turned to look at the tower, and said in a cold voice, Are you still unwilling to say it? Patience is limited. Jian Wushuang was also approaching his limit. He controlled his breath a little, and said gently, Senior Shenta, there is something difficult to say. Just say it, we will solve it for you. As long as you tell me the news of that person and so on. That's it. Tell. The tower's eyes moved, and it was really tempting, but after thinking about the things involved, he closed his eyes ashen. This made Jian Wushuang and others a little surprised. Don't say death? Jian Wushuang ran out of patience. His figure rushed directly to the Tower of God. His divine power exploded to tens of millions, and he touched the top with one hand, just a short distance away. His tone changed greatly, and he threatened. If you don't say anything, I don't mind searching. Soul, don't think it's the 8 Tribulations realm. I can't do anything about you. As soon as these words came out, the complexion of the tower changed instantly, and he hurriedly took a half step back and said in surprise, You are not in the 7 Tribulations realm. I am the Lord of the 7 Tribulations realm universe, and I won't prevent me from searching for your soul. Jian Wushuang slowly put down his hand and continued. Don't doubt it, you can give it a try. Shenta stared at Jian Wushuang. This time he was really panicked, and didn't dare to gamble. I can tell you. In the end he chose to compromise. After seeing the other party's compromise, Wuxia's expression softened. He immediately put on a smiley face, patted the other party's shoulder and praised. That's right, cooperate with us. You won't be disadvantaged. However, you have to promise me a condition. The complexion of the tower changed, appearing a little resolute. What are the conditions? Wu's expression sank, and he knew that things were not easy. Shenta did look at Jian Wushuang, and he could also find that among these people, Jian Wushuang was the one who took the lead. You must ensure the safety of my tower of time and space. After holding back for a while, the tower said the conditions. Jian Wushuang narrowed his eyes. This is easy. He seemed to be able to guess the other party's scruples. The divine tower time and space ranks at the bottom of the middle reaches, and I am afraid that it has been targeted. Yi Lingxiu's role, I am afraid, is very big, because she was sold by the tower. Wang Yan also nodded at this time and said, as long as you tell her whereabouts, I can guarantee that your time and space of the tower will be absolutely worry-free. He has now reached the 7 tribulations realm, and his basic divine power is 3 million. With the addition of the secret technique, it is similar to the Tower of God. Moreover, there are Jian Wushuang and others, and it is not a small problem to protect the time and space of a divine tower. Seeing Jian Wushuang, Shenta nodded and dragged it out. These 8 tribulations in the middle reaches of time and space have more backbone than the upper time and space. If it is the upstream time and space, I am afraid all of them have already been explained, and there are so many things. Chapter 6032. Losing the origin universe is a death threat to them, in the 8 tribulations realm. Without the origin universe, there is no way to go. To live is to suffer. But in the upstream time and space, the scattered tribulations of the 8 tribulations are all thinking of ways to continue their own vitality, thinking about living in secret. The tower doesn't think so. The reason why he lives now is to protect the time and space of the Tower of God. Hearing this explanation, everyone's views on him have changed. Out of the heart, there is also a little more respect on the face. This made Jian Wushuang think of Qi Shun, and the other party had not yet crossed the calamity, so they all chose to understand themselves. I just don't want to face myself after failure. Life. Reborn. This news has not yet reached the midstream time and space. Otherwise these people would not have given up so early. When Wang Yan heard this, although she was a little anxious, she did not interrupt. The person you are looking for is actually my granddaughter. Her name is Gu Xiao. Shenta said here. There was light in her eyes, which was proud. After Wang Yan heard the name, she couldn't help but mutter to herself, Xiao, she should be the reincarnation, right? Yes. Wang Yan replied indifferently, without any concealment. Shenta smiled lightly. Actually, I already knew that she was a reincarnation, but she is now flowing with the blood of my ancient family. Even if it is a reincarnation, this life is also a member of my ancient family, and one of my old age. Trust. This remark made Wang Yan a little uncomfortable, and after thinking about it, she didn't refute. After Jian Wushuang heard the name, he directly transmitted the voice to Babata, and asked him to check the information of Gu Xiao. This kind of thing is very simple for Babata, and it can be done by directly catching a powerhouse in the time and space of the tower, so as not to let the tower to catch their appetite. Master. Babata quickly collected the news and told Jian Wushuang all about it. After listening to this, Jian Wudwa looked a little embarrassed and said secretly, so it is. After learning the truth, he felt that what the tower said just now was just to excuse himself, so as not to be troubled by them, because Yi Lingxiu's reincarnation has been given away by the tower. To put it mildly, it means getting married. The hardest part is giving it away. Originally, he wanted to tell Wang Yan directly, but he was afraid that the other party would take action directly after hearing it, so he simply let the tower speak slowly. After the foreplay is over, the rest is even more dramatic. The reincarnated Gu Xiao has the perfect emperor's body, made by the realm king. In just 10,000 years, he became an emperor. In less than an epoch, he is the master of the universe of the 4 tribulations realm. He survived 4 calamities at a time. It is the pride of the entire Tower of Time and Space. The tower also highly values this granddaughter. It was originally intended to focus on becoming his own successor, but the ensuing jealousy thwarted his plans. Million years ago, Gu Shower, who has reached the peak of the Four Tribulations realm, followed her friends to the outskirts of the mysterious realm last year, and was targeted. Title: Time and Space. Located on the other side of the long river of time and space, it is extremely powerful, and can be ranked 7th in the entire middle reaches of time and space. There are peak 8 Tribulations realm powerhouses. There are also 5 masters of the 7 Tribulations realm universe in time and space. It is the top space-time. And Yi Lingxiao was taken in by a 7 Tribulation realm universe lord, and took the initiative to bring him in to propose a marriage. The tower originally disagreed. It's no different from stealing. What's more, Yi Lingxiao's talent is very good, and he will soon be in the realm of 5 tribulations, and he can grow to at least the realm of 7 tribulations in the future. He will be the master of ZTE in the time and space of the Divine Tower. How is it possible to send in? Alas, the tower side, which is the identity of Hai Buodong, the master of the 7 Tribulations realm universe. If I didn't agree at that time, I'm afraid. Then you agreed. Wanyan was furious after hearing this. This has been a matter of 10,000 years. No wonder the breath disappeared so quickly. If it was a few years later, they would have to search for it from time to time. The key is that in this 10,000 years of time and space, anything will happen. Wanyan couldn't even think about it. Jian Wushuang patted the other's shoulder. He was the most experienced in this kind of thing, but he didn't know how to comfort him. All we can do now is to save. Get Yi Lingxiao over first. If you are not relieved, you can kill the 7 Tribulations realm. This is all possible. We can only help each other do these things. Time cannot go backwards. Title: Time and Space. Heibudong, Wanyan said with murderous expression, gritted his teeth. She is your own granddaughter, just like you said, with the blood of your ancient family. You have the heart to give it to someone from the 7 Tribulations realm. Old guy. After the tower heard it, it was also embarrassed. Jian Wushuang and Wu Zhuo felt that they were a little injured, and they became old fellows. But this is not important. The important thing is that since the tower is not afraid of death, how can it compromise? Is it possible that the other party, in the 7 Tribulations realm, can destroy the time and space of the Divine Tower because of a woman? Not so much. There are 36 tributaries in the middle reaches. Title: Spacetime is only the 7th, not the 1st. If you really want to be the 1st, it will not turn the sky over. There is definitely a secret. This is also the reason why the tower hesitated for so long not to speak. Because of the abyss, there was some fear in the face of the tower, and he continued. The title space is not scary, and Heibudong is even less scary. If I can turn my hand, I can crush him to death, but his sister is from the abyss. The saint is also the Taoist companion of the Lord of the Abyss, and she and the son of the Lord of the Abyss are also the Lord of the 8 Tribulations realm universe. In other words, Hai Buodong's nephew is the master of the universe of the 8 Tribulations realm. No wonder he dared to be so arrogant. Jian Wushuang has a lot of information about the abyss, time and space. The Lord of the Abyss is likely to be a perfectionist in the 8 Tribulations realm. Which abyss demon girl, that is the Taoist companion of the Abyss Master, is also in the 8 Tribulations realm. There is also a son of the 2, who is also the master of the universe in the 8 Tribulations realm. The blessing of the 3 universe masters made the abyss space-time, the overlord of the middle reaches. No wonder the title time and space are so arrogant. Which Hai Buodong dare to dance like this? Call for someone. Jian Wushuang doesn't care about this. Even if the 8 Tribulations realm is complete, at most 15 million divine powers, he can easily beat it. Small thing. Jian Wushuang shook his head and said, Wanyan, go directly to title time and space. At this moment, Wanyan stared at the tower angrily, just like eating a fly, and in the end she could only nod her head. No big deal. The tower's face was filled with joy, and he felt that the turning point of things had come, and he had never heard that there were people like Jian Wushuang in the middle reaches of time and space. I am afraid it is from the upstream time and space. With these people as backers, They also have hope in the time and space of the tower. Fellow Taoists, if you forcibly rescue Shower, I hope you don't break your promise. There was a plea in the Divine Tower's tone. After knowing Yi Lingxiao's whereabouts, he has long been impatient, not to mention that the current Yi Lingxiao was sent out by the tower, and he will not give the other party any good looks. Chapter 60:33. Humph, he snorted coldly. I have to think about your conditions now. As for whether to agree or not, it depends on Gu Shower's thoughts. If you don't agree then. Shenta's expression changed greatly, and Jian Wushuang was a little unbelievable. How could he be a super powerhouse with tens of thousands of divine powers? How could he not promise what he promised? This is a little different from what he thought. This Divine Tower's face was a little embarrassed. Wuxia was beside him, mockingly said, What is this? Go home and wait for the news. This time, even Huiqing didn't come out to say good things. Speaking of which, it was also because of Huiqing that Yi Lingxiao got her way. But all in all, he is still the king of the realm. If I had told them earlier, this would not have happened. The main reason is that the real king didn't take Wanyan seriously. If it were him, or Wuxia and Huiqing, I'm afraid they wouldn't dare to do this. Although he is the realm king of the northern time and space, he has no combat power. Still need them to do things. How dare you offend them? Go! The four of them didn't say anything more, and entered the pyramid directly. Babata. Turn on the secret level speed. You don't need to hide your breath. Go to the tidal time and space at the fastest speed. Jian Wushuang gave the order directly. Yes. After hearing the order, Babata executed it immediately. The target was locked, and the speed of the secret realm was enough to turn the tortuous time and space into a straight line. The speed is faster than that of eternity. Of course it consumes a lot. Secret realm level speed, lasting millions of years, will consume one party's black radiance essence. From the divine tower time and space to the tidal time and space, it is not too far. It only takes 3 days. If it is black hole level speed, at least several years. The middle reaches of the long river of time and space are much larger than the upper reaches. It's just that there are too many of those barren places. The tributaries are also smaller. But the scope is bigger. The downstream is bigger, even bigger than the middle and upper ones. As for the last tour, they haven't been there either, so naturally they don't know. Just heard that it is the same as the starry sky. Too bad no one has been there. It's all heard. If there is a chance, Jian Wushuang must go to find out. The rotating pyramid broke everything, and the secret realms blocked along the way were all smashed into pieces. After leaving the time and space of the God Tower, a dazzling light erupted in the barren land, attracting the attention of many strong people. They had never heard of such a flying treasure. They all thought it was a super strong person who just got the treasure. I was speechless all the way. And after knowing the specific information and location, I rushed on the road at full speed. The afternoon of the third day. The four people in the pyramid finally saw the tidal time and space that appeared in the sky. As the name suggests, in tidal space and time, there are tides, and each epoch will be superimposed. This is of great help to the origin of water. Tidal time and space covering the Sea dynasty. Sea family land. Although it is a dynasty, it does not have a capital. Instead, the forward-thinking idea of decentralization was chosen. Focusing on resources, there are many resources in that place, and the strongest will gather the most. The Hai family, who controls the Fuhai dynasty, chose an uninhabited place. This place is somewhat similar to the Badlands. Once this place was a vast ocean, but with the birth of life, the ocean dissipated. The Hai family settled here. Usually there are no practitioners in the periphery of this place. Gulin is absolutely prohibited from outsiders because of the Hai family's territory. Even if you are meeting or visiting friends, you must say hello in advance. But at this time, a huge pyramid, spinning rapidly, directly broke the prohibition of the Great Formation and entered the rootless sea. In tidal time and space, there is no prohibition to the outside world, because it is not afraid of the attack of others. No one dared to go to the trouble of tidal space-time. its own strength ranks 7th. With his back against the abyss, he is naturally fearless. However, the arrival of Jian Wushuang and the others broke this rule. Before the pyramid entered the tidal time and space, some people noticed it. Later, when it entered the tidal time and space, many people thought that the powerhouse of the tidal time and space got this treasure. But now that he has unscrupulously broke into the Sea Clan land, many people began to feel that something was wrong. Even people from the high family would not enter their own family land so recklessly. Not my own. That is the outsider. Outsiders are so arrogant. Abyss time and space will not do this either. There is only one possibility left. Enemy attack. Hao Yue Zhongkong suddenly hummed loudly. Overseas, many powerhouses gathered, already waiting to see the jokes of the high family. The high family land is ordinary, not even a formation. But there are many strong people gathered. In an instant, a team of 3 lords of the 7 Tribulations Realm universe gathered, and with dozens of 6 Tribulations Realm powerhouses, left the clan to block the pyramid. Through the sky, Jian Wushuang saw these masters of the universe who didn't know how to live or die. He didn't show any mercy. He went on a rampage and crushed all the masters of the universe. Hundreds of superpowers fell in an instant. The sky turned bloody. Don't blame them for being arrogant. However, although the aura on the surface of the pyramid is very strong, its power cannot be seen. I don't need those people this time. I went to see it, and they all fell directly. Hai Buodong should not be among them, otherwise it will be cheap for him. Wu Zhuo felt the divine aura of the outside world through the sky. Wang Yin's face was cold and excited. Finally see you again. Don't worry, after 3 breaths, you will arrive at their clan. Jian Wushuang had his hands behind his back, his eyes sharp. Boom! At the time of speaking, the pyramid had smashed into space and time, and entered the Sea Clan land. If it weren't for the fear of accidentally hurting Yi Lingxiao, he would have let Babata manipulate the pyramid to crash directly into the High family land. Bold! A furious voice came from the depths of the clan. A young man in a golden robe flew out from below, and only then did he realize that the team that had just left had all fallen. Those are the 3 lords of the 7 Tribulations Realm universe. Did it fall like that? It was definitely made by the 8 Tribulations Realm. No need to guess. The ancestor of the High family Sea Emperor. Midstream time and space. One of the most powerful 8 Tribulation realms. The master of the universe at the peak of the 8 Tribulations. The existence of supernatural power. Don't you dare to show your face? The Sea Emperor slammed into the top of the pyramid with a furious blow. Privately, he had already transmitted a voice transmission to the daughter of Abyss Time and Space. Because this time the pyramid is threatening, and it definitely has the certainty that it will drag him. He dared not be careless. If he had known that there were 2 super powerhouses in this pyramid who could easily crush him, he would have run away in fright. Sea Emperor has tens of millions of divine powers, and those who are stronger than him are good friends. Although there are several enemies who are similar to him, they do not dare to exaggerate and come to his clan. After one hit, I wanted to test the pyramid, The woman in the black dress isolated the vibrations from the outside world and coaxed the baby to sleep. Shower. Wang Yan's voice trembled. After seeing which baby, and the doting look in Yi Lingxiu's eyes, he was completely dumbfounded. At this moment he was heartbroken. When the woman in the black dress saw Wang Yan who broke into the door, her eyes were surprised, and then she gathered divine power with one hand and took a defensive posture. Whoa! At this time, Jian Wushuang also brought Hai Huang and Hui Qing and Wu Zhuo to the courtyard. He turned his head and glanced at Wang Yan, and then at Yi Lingxiao who was reincarnated. A few of them were stunned. What's the situation? At this time, Hai Huang couldn't help but say, "Fellow Taoists, if I offend you, kill me. It has nothing to do with the rest of my Hai family. It's irrelevant." Wu Zhuo said with a cold and stern expression. "The woman who stole my brother, can this matter still be irrelevant?" The Sea Emperor's face was embarrassed. Women. He robbed an unknown number of women, and that crime was indeed quite a big one. But the woman in the black dress in front of him is his daughter-in-law. This is not stolen. It was he who went to propose a marriage in person, and the other party agreed. "Gushang Xiao'er, don't you remember me?" Wang Yan couldn't believe it. The woman in the black dress is the identity of Yi Lingxiao after her reincarnation. Gu Xiao'er. When she saw Wang Yan's sad and angry expression, she was a little moved, but when she saw the Emperor of the Sea being held hostage, she said angrily, "I don't know." Looking at Wang Yan's eyes, he also became disgusted. This. Jian Wushuang suddenly thought of what the real king had said. The perfect emperor's body. Perfect opportunity. But there is no mention of memory. This power of cause and effect is also the way that the king of the realm gave them guidance. Jian Wushuang suddenly understood. I secretly said in my heart, "It's broken, the realm king has mistaken me. Things have come to this point, they can't go back. Wang Yan, do it, take her away first." Wu Zhuo also understood, knowing that it was the realm king who trapped them, but now there is no other way. Gu Xiao'er can only be snatched away first. Otherwise, they would be too stupid to come here this time. Wang Yan took a step forward, but what she saw was Gu Xiao'er who was fiercely resisting. No one could understand his mood at this time. A hand knife stunned the opponent neatly. Holding Gu Xiao'er, thinking of the scene just now, he felt that the other party was a stranger. After seeing the finish, Jian Wushuang let go of the Sea Emperor, followed Wang Yan out of the courtyard, and by the way ordered Babata to summon the pyramid to this place. The pyramid descended, and a triangular plate was suspended in midair. Wang Yan took Gu Xiao'er and stood up directly. Jian Wushuang and the others kept retreating, and also stood up. At this time, an aura erupted in the clan. Xiao'er. The other party was also calling out Gu Xiao'er's name. There was anger in Jian Wushuang's eyes. It was anger towards the king of the realm. Now I have to post it on this person. Without waiting for the other party to come, I slap it with a palm, and directly destroy the small courtyard. The left baby was picked up by Hui Qing. A palm fell. The Emperor of the Sea tried his best to block, otherwise, the Lord of the Seven Tribulations realm universe would definitely fall. Jian Wushuang glanced indifferently, and then led people into the pyramid, then fled in a hurry. They look like they are afraid. Afraid that others will find out. Afraid. What are you afraid of? They were looking for Yi Lingxiao originally, but they turned out to be petty theft. In particular, Wang Yan was taken aback. He glanced at the clan of the Hai family below through the sky, and also saw Hai Buodong who was wailing. The Lord of the Seven Tribulations realm universe. Not too old. Jian Wushuang touched his chin and muttered to himself. After seeing Hai Buodong's appearance, it was difficult for him to believe that the other party was an arrogant and domineering master. No killing intent. In the sky, the Emperor of the Sea controlled Hai Buodong with divine power. This matter is not something you can manage. If you teach it to your father, you will definitely give you an explanation. Sea Emperor strongly persuaded. But Hai Buodong's eyes were red, and he looked at the pyramid disappearing in front of him, and his whole body was paralyzed to the ground. After the pyramid left, the Emperor of the Sea also let go, and the time and space were lifted. He also had the confidence, looked at his son and sighed. They are the super powerhouses of the upstream time and space, stronger than the Lord of the Abyss. We can't afford to offend them. Chapter 60:35. To this day, he couldn't believe that he would meet such a powerful enemy, and he didn't understand why he wanted to target the title time and space. He was dubious about the previous words, and when he saw that the other party took his daughter-in-law away, his eyes were full of surprise. Gu Shower is from the divine tower time and space. He met Hai Buodong because he was in the mysterious realm of Nian. At the beginning, Gu Shower fell into a forbidden place and was rescued by Hai Buodong on the way. Then the two met, married thousands of years ago. Now has a daughter. There was no discord at all. If there is, it is also before the big wedding, and the tower is very reluctant. He wanted to train his daughter to be his successor, and ended up marrying Hai Buodong, who is in the title space and time. But that's not to mention stealing. The two are what you want. Hai Huang pondered what happened today, or transmitted the sound to the tower. At this time, the tower is sitting leisurely on the throne, and there is a black-robed man below reporting things from the title time and space. The Hai family was invaded by mysterious powerhouses, and could not be resisted. Time and space are currently blocked. Haha good, the tower stood up happily. It's best to destroy the Hai family, and Shower can also return to my tower. But after waiting for him to be happy for a while, he received a voice transmission from the Sea Emperor, and his face became cold. Gu Shower was taken away. Not even the baby was left. The Hai family also died of 3 Cosmos Masters, as well as dozens of powerhouses in the 6 Tribulations realm. As soon as the disappearance came out, the entire midstream spacetime was shaken. Mysterious golden letters, unfamiliar superpowers, upstream time and space. It was a mystery to them all, because it is too difficult to go from the midstream to the upstream. Only the master of the 8 Tribulations realm universe can do it, and he has to be the top master of the 8 Tribulation realm universe. In the middle reaches of time and space, the master of the universe with this strength is the person who carries the cauldron of all time and space, and it is impossible to venture to the upper reaches. Don't worry after all. There are also some scattered robbery who risked death to try. However, most of them returned without success, and some were completely buried. As for the upstream time and space, they only know that there are 9 great time and space. Countless superpowers. The rest are unknown, and most of these things are still recorded in the inheritance. In the entire middle reaches of time and space, no one has been to the upper reaches. Now suddenly I hear the arrival of a super powerhouse with an upstream time and space. All excited. Curiosity about the upstream time and space is their biggest motivation. Everyone wants to go to high places. Chapter 60:36. Wan's face was pale, and after hearing Wu's assurance he slowly got up. Although Gu Shower, who was immobilized next to him, didn't know why these people came to him, he was a little surprised to see Wan Yin like this. He is also hesitating in the bottom of his heart, if he really restores the memory of her previous life. So what will happen to the memory now? Who will dominate then? This is the problem. Maybe she wasn't who she was now. But what can we do? Now being controlled, the daughter is also in the hands of others. Gu Shower's eyes also showed a hint of ready, and a tear quietly fell. Brother Wuxia, you should contact Lord Jiawang now. Jian Wuxuang was worried about what would happen, so he urged Wuxia to quickly find the Jiawang to deal with Gu Shower. It was a good thing to meet again, but now it has become a tragedy. Wuxia took out a strange sign, and began to transmit sound to the Realm King. Good. Hui Qing was a little hesitant, whether to stop him or not. He is very experienced in this kind of restoration of past life memories, because he also has memories of past lives. But it was completely cut off. Hui Qing in the previous life was a super genius in the Buddha world, the only Taoist who has mastered the ultimate way, road number heaven. But later, in order to get rid of the memory of his past life, he had to suffer a lot to get what he is now. And there are some feelings from the previous life, which affected his life. Now Wanyan has also encountered this kind of thing. Even if there is love in the past life, this life also exists, it will be more troublesome. Maybe it's best not to recover. But he didn't dare to persuade him. Yi Lingxiu's death had nothing to do with him. In fact, he was the murderer. The king is the mastermind. In the final analysis, Jian Wushuang is the biggest initiator. It wasn't that he went to destroy the Chun family to capture the treasure, nor would he release the monster Shilu. There will be no Yi Lingxiu's death in the future, and he will find a huge enemy for himself. Hui Qing was also implicated. Kill. There are too many causes of contamination. Counting down, every time Jian Wushuang kills, it will attract a powerful threat. First, the blood sacrifice led to Jiang Shang, and then Hui Qing was involved. Then there's Broly. On the Dragon God continent, when he wanted to kill for the third time, Wu Li stopped him, because Danbao was special. Otherwise, he would make another monstrous mistake. Shilu now. It's all about killing. Jian Wushuang's breathing was a little heavy, and he really had to restrain his desire to kill in the future. It was not like this before. Since mastering the extreme way, every time in pursuit of the ultimate, he has committed the big mistake of killing. It's hard to change. This time, after arriving at the Hai family, he almost felt the slaughter. Fortunately, he just killed some Cosmos Masters, and didn't take any action against the weak. He couldn't do this anymore, he thought in his heart. An array of light fell from the sky. Realm King projection. Swish. What are you looking for from me? The king's voice was a little lazy, and he had not been idle during this time, because a lot of things happened on the World God continent. First, he sent Shilu over, which caused dissatisfaction with other realm kings. Moreover, he also shook out the incident of sending calamities to the World God continent a few times before. It all starts with Jian Wushuang's killing. Killing the metal light brain at the beginning also left a scourge, and they were all sent to the World continent by the Realm King. When he killed the young sect master of the Blood Cloth sect, he entered the underground of Luofeng Slope and found a pink meatball. He also ran out through the tunnel he entered. The Realm King, who has no choice, can only send these scourges away, because there is no time for him to make arrangements now. Knowing the life of metal, he doesn't know how long it takes. Finally succeeded. Death is involved in the back, and there are also bureaus to collect. Now Jian Wushuang and the others are going back to solve the destruction of life. But for those metal figures created by Shilu and Metal Optical Brain, he didn't have time to arrange them, so he could only send them to the World God continent. Unfortunately, everything has a cause and effect, and it was sent over. He also needs to find someone to solve it. Jian Wushuang and others are the best thugs. It is said that he wiped the of Jian Wushuang and others. It is better to say that Jian Wushuang cleaned up the mess for the king. Northern time and space is far worse than they thought. There is no way. The real king's deity has fallen, and only consciousness is left. It is not bad to be able to maintain it until now. If the northern time and space were like the rest of the time and space, it would not be in this situation at all. The upper, middle, and lower reaches are separated, and the strong are rare. Only the upstream 9 time and space can be seen. After so many years, even a decent powerhouse has not been cultivated. Once the starry sky is guilty, he will have to die one more time. The Realm King, who has no choice, now uses Jian Wushuang and the others as life-saving straws. Once you train to become a super master, you can brag about it when you take it out. The second is to solve those troubles. So as long as Wuxia called him, he was almost always on call. After all, you can use them, you can't offend them. After this time, I found out that it was in the middle reaches of time and space. I thought I was in trouble, so I came down to take a look. Restore the memory of the past life? After the king heard Wuxia's words, he slapped his forehead, and he really forgot about it. After helping Yi Lingxiao reincarnate, he was thrown into the middle reaches of time and space. Later, because of the affairs of the World God continent, he had long forgotten Yi Lingxiao. In fact, at the beginning, if he waited for 10 or 20 years, when Gu Shaoer's consciousness was weak, he could avoid all this by restoring the memory of his previous life. So the king pit. I don't want to wait for 10 or 20 years. Into the present situation. He was also a little embarrassed, but in his opinion, this was not a big deal, and he immediately promised. Don't worry, it's not too late. I can erase her current consciousness and restore her memory from her previous life. Erase. Gu Xiao's expression changed drastically when she heard it. Isn't that death? Consciousness dies but the soul remains. In this way, restoring Yi Lingxiao's memory of her previous life will allow Yi Lingxiao to regain control of her soul. After Wang Yan heard this, her face froze. Looking at Gu Xiao's eyes, he was able to hit the opponent's soul directly. That's a subconscious struggle. Who wants to die? Wang Yan, you have to think about it. Hui Qing said at this time. He wanted to persuade him, but he didn't have the qualifications to speak. He also has a share of this. Seeing that the other party hesitated now, he took the initiative to persuade him. Wu Zhuo didn't care about this and retorted. It's all this time. What else is there to think about? Just restore it. And as for this baby, it's time to send it back. Wang Yan, what do you think? Jian Wushuang did not follow Wu Zhuo's words, but looked at Wang Yan. He is the leader of this matter. So ask them what they mean. But they never thought that in this matter, they had to ask Yi Lingxiao's consciousness. Even if there is no memory of the past in her soul now, she still has consciousness. Chapter 60:37. Wang Yan's hands trembled a little. He looked at Gu Xiao and saw the perseverance at the beginning. That indelible tenacity. What he admires is the character of the other person. Now it's time to erase this perseverance. Forget it. The light in Wang Yan's eyes dissipated, full of loneliness. Finally gave up. If you really want to erase Gu Xiao's memory, it may be to kill the other party. He didn't want to do it. Because Gu Xiao is now a complete person, rather than an item. However, the Realm King didn't understand the love between his sons and daughters. Seeing that everyone's faces were not good-looking, he quickly said, Actually, the soul can be exchanged. Why don't I divide the soul into 2 parts? No. Wang Yan shook her head, then bowed her hands towards the Jiawang with a respectful expression. This time I have troubled the Jiawang, am fine. Seeing this scene, Hui Qing was also very guilty, but there was nothing he could do. Gu Xiao also saw that Wang Yan was about to give up, and she breathed a sigh of relief. Although she didn't understand what these people had to do with her past life, she could see Wang Yan's infatuation. The Realm King blinked, but in the end he didn't say anything, knowing that it was a bit embarrassing to stay here. So he said goodbye in a hurry. After sending the Realm King away, Jian Wushuang and the others also stepped back one by one. Let Wang Yan calm down for a while. Send her away. Wang Yan turned her head to look at Jian Wushuang and said with a wry smile, This time, I will trouble everyone. Jian Wushuang smiled awkwardly. Small things, since you can let go then. Since you don't want to erase it, it can't hurt. You can only send it back. Shame. Those who did before, they were all like fools. It's all the fault of the King of Realms for being unreliable. Of course, this is only viewed from their perspective. In fact, from the perspective of the Realm King, there is no problem. Compared with Yi Lingxiao, the affairs of the world god continent were obviously more important. If it wasn't for Jian Wushuang who chose to bring Dongxing and Wang Yan, maybe the real king wouldn't even look at these people. The pyramid reversed direction and began to return the same way. At the boundary of tidal time and space, Jian Wushuang stopped. He didn't want to be embarrassed to go in. It's almost enough to let the mother and daughter go here. The place has reached the border, and there is no danger. Is there anything else to say? He looked at Wang Yan. This might be the last chance. When Gu Xiao left, Yi Lingxiao disappeared forever. Wang Yan didn't speak, took a deep breath, turned her back to the crowd, and just shook her head. With such a determination, Jian Wushuang naturally didn't say anything. After lifting the restraint on Gu Xiao, he said indifferently, Let's go. At this time, Hui Qing also came over and handed the baby in his arms to the other party. After taking the baby, Gu Xiao breathed a sigh of relief, but she still couldn't face these people. She turned around and left without saying anything. Seeing this, Wu Zhuo complained, I let her go, and I don't give a good face. It's almost done. Let's tie them up. Do you still think that others will give you a good face? Jian Wushuang replied angrily, looking at the disappearing back of the other party. Jian Wushuang and the others turned to look at Wang Yan. But I don't know when. Wang Yan turned her head long ago and looked at Gu Shaoer's figure, unable to let go for a long time. I'm going to shut down. Wang Yan, who left only one sentence, entered the cave that belonged to her. He is getting stronger. Only strong strength can make up for the current mood. It has long surpassed the 5 elements of heaven and earth, and emotional matters will only make people weak. Jian Wushuang let out a regretful cry, and he saw it more thoroughly. Walking on the road of the strong is lonely. Gu Chen also has no shortage of confidants and life and death brothers by his side. But how many can follow him to the present? Those who were in Qinghua realm, absolute beginning God realm, and to see you have long since disappeared. Later, we arrived at Qishan Temple. Also met a lot of people. Shanjun Baijun, old man with horns, Gong Miaoyi, etc. None of these people could keep up with him. The road to the strong is like that. If you have a Taoist companion, make sure that the two go hand in hand. Disasters like Jian Wushuang are even more difficult. Let's go too. Whoa. The pyramid ripped apart the void, looked directly at the barren land outside the tidal spacetime, and headed towards the mysterious realm of Nian. To see the ruins of Mora time and space, they will also go downstream. As for Gu Shaoer, after she was let go by Jian Wushuang and others, she left to use the time and space Dao talisman and returned to the Hai family land. The family reunited, and everyone leaked joy. For those mysterious powerhouses, they only have fear. No emotion whatsoever. In the time and space of the tower, there is a lonely old man sighing. The middle reaches of the long river of time and space are far from these sons and daughters. There are also various battles, such as the Battle of the Head. The second-ranked giant peak time and space has always competed with the powerhouses of the abyss time and space. This kind of competition is not a competition for one city and one pool. Instead, they compete for the abyss. Now hearing that the super powerhouses with the upper reaches of the time and space are coming to the middle reaches of the time and space, there has also been a huge change between the two. The two sides, who were at war with each other at first, actually began to constantly negotiate secretly, and even cooperated. But this is only the obvious way. Behind the scenes there is an undercurrent. Chapter 6038. 20 million. Jian Wushuang was also taken aback. A secret realm in the middle reaches of time and space requires 20 million divine power to break the ban. And there are 9 layers. It wasn't so difficult to enter the Taishu secret realm back then. It seems that he really underestimated this secret realm. At this time, Wuxia stood up and explained. The secret realm of space-time level is indeed not simple. Those secret realms nurtured by the northern time and space are all at the cosmic level. Only the continent of the gods can breed the secret realm of space-time level. It's normal to be difficult, and the original Moroa time and space, speaking of it, is only a part of the mysterious realm of Nian, not the core. We can still go somewhere to see some relics. Molo time and space. Jian Wushuang held his breath. He not only traveled through time and space, but also entered Moro's time and space. He also dreamed of Qishan when he was walking on the single-plank bridge. That time and space is like his nightmare. Although only the ruins are left, he is extremely excited to step in again. Go, enter the mysterious realm of the year. Before entering, he informed everyone except Wang Yan. But only Wu Tian left the cave and entered the Qianquan palace. The rest are not very interested. After all, it has nothing to do with them. The inheritance that was obtained at the beginning, although it came from the Moroa time and space, did not cultivate for too long, and later came to the 9 great time and space. Millions of epochs have passed. They have long forgotten some of the original inheritance. Now that I can go back, it's also the last look. As for annihilation, they don't know much. There is no fear. Where are the strengths of Jian Wushuang and Hui Qing? In the entire northern time and space, there is no one to be afraid of. Afraid of dying? In fact, Jian Wushuang was a little worried by himself. The rest thought so. Huiqing is the same. The future body, the divine power of 20 million, even surpassed 20 million. Enough to traverse the entire northern time and space. Even in the world god continent, it is a super strong. How can you be afraid of a small death? The pyramid quickly broke through time and space, and broke into the mysterious realm of Nian. This scene surprised the forces stationed on the periphery. The pyramid has entered the mysterious realm of the year. Quick! Inform Juyang Immortal Venerable. Notice the Lord of the Abyss. All major forces are reporting one by one. The superpowers in the pyramid are indeed enough to attract everyone's attention, especially the Abyss. The most afraid of the superpowers from the upstream time and space. Because the Abyss time and space hides huge secrets. This is also the reason why Jufeng time and space has been staring at Abyss time and space. The ban on the periphery has been broken. Many people stood in the distance and watched the pyramid break through the many bans. Crossing the demon realm, how is this done? Countless people are amazed. For them, the Nian mysterious realm is a huge treasure and an extremely dangerous place. But the places that seemed extremely dangerous to them were completely crushed by the pyramids. There is no resistance whatsoever. Years of mystery. The most dangerous are those bans. These restrictions can kill people or trap people. Belong to the dead. Said to be the most dangerous, in fact, for those strong. For the weak lord of the universe, the Nian mysterious realm is the biggest threat. It's those Nian beasts. This is also the origin of the name of the Nian mysterious realm. Zodiac. It is a unique monster in the mysterious realm. They have absolute intelligence, as well as ethnic groups. There are even founders. In the mysterious realm of Nian, the Nian beast is not affected by the ban, and can travel freely. And it is extremely powerful. They are like the darlings of the mysterious realm of the year. Exclusive access to secret resources. The deeper the Nian beast, the stronger it is. And this Nian beast is a gregarious monster. There was a powerhouse in the 8 Tribulations realm. And in the core area, they encountered a group of Nian beasts at the 8 Tribulations realm level, each with more than 5 million divine powers. Which lord of the 8 Tribulations realm universe was so frightened that he turned his head and ran away. Even so, he was seriously injured. These Nian beasts are a threat and an opportunity for practitioners. The mysterious territory of Nian is not only rich in some special treasures, but the most useful to practitioners is the demon core of the Nian beast. This kind of demon core can be used as the source of the treasure of destiny, and it can also be used to enhance the divine power, or even enhance the source. Not only that, but the skeletal bodies on the beasts of these years can also be refined into treasures. It is simply a low-profile version of the beast god. After Jian Wushuang learned this through Babata, he was also overjoyed. The demon core of the beast these years can help him improve the beast magic weapon. In this way, the second refining of the beast divine weapon can raise the candle dragon to the level of the 9 Tribulations realm. If the 9 great beasts were all raised to the level of the 9 Tribulations, they would be integrated into one. That power, Jian Wushuang can't imagine it. How far is it from the ruins of Morwo's time and space? Jian Wushuang looked at the dangerous places in the sky and found that it was getting more and more dangerous. At present, they have entered the inner circle, and the danger here has threatened the 7 Tribulations realm. Most of the lords of the 7 Tribulations realm universe are also roaming here. You can kill Nian beasts and collect some treasures. These restraining powers are not the relics of some sects, but more like restraints naturally conceived in time and space. The more dangerous the place, the more powerful treasure will be born. This is also the manipulation of the will of time and space. Everything is about a balance. Babata shook his head, and after a crackling operation, he said with some uncertainty, "Master, I don't have much information. I can only judge that Moro time and space is in the southeast direction, close to the core of Nian mysterious realm. It takes 10 days to arrive." "Well, be careful, don't worry." Jian Wushuang didn't panic at all. He's already here, so be careful. He didn't take this place seriously at first, but after arriving, he has made some changes. The pyramids cannot be traversed. indicating the core place, has a huge threat. Looking at the void restrictions in those ruins, Huiqing couldn't help but exclaim. These restrictions actually contain the power of time and space. No wonder the threat is so great. The secret realm nurtured by time and space naturally contains the power of time and space. Huiqing, you will understand when you arrive at the world god continent. These powers of time and space are actually very common, but the power of the starry sky of Wushuang brother, which is rarely seen in the world god continent. Most of the superpowers who have mastered the power of the starry sky are from the superpowers in the starry sky. With their nostrils facing upwards, they simply look down on us cultivators in space and time. Wuxia complained on the side, and then looked enviously to Jian Wushuang. Obviously, he is very envious of Jian Wushuang, who has mastered the power of the starry sky, because the power of the starry sky is too special. Once mastered, it is an absolute genius. The power of the sky. Not all practitioners in the starry sky can grasp it. Just like practitioners in time and space, few master the power of time and space. Chapter 6039. So it seems very special. Jian Wushuang didn't think so. The power of his starry sky does not come from the starry sky they see, but from his own starry sky. At the beginning, he also stole the power of the starry sky, but after being targeted by a super strong, he dared not use it again. Later, it was only by condensing the source of the starry sky that he fully grasped it. If he guessed correctly, those Tianjiao who master the power of the starry sky, like him, are all borrowed powers. It is the same as the power of the source of ordinary practitioners. They all come from the origin of the universe, or the origin of time and space. It's just that those practitioners in the starry sky are originally part of the starry sky, and it is normal to cultivate the power of the starry sky. At the beginning, he could only use it to steal. Just like Gong Miaoya's father. The borrowed power, although powerful, is never his own. At that time, he was also fortunate enough to enter the starry sky through mental strength, and after mastering the pole, he delved into the power of the starry sky. Lucky. This is the conclusion of Jian Wushuang. Bad luck, just like those dangerous places in the sky, turned into ruins. In the inner circle, they often encounter some Nian beasts. It's just that most of them are in the 6th tribulation realm, and the 7th tribulation realm is rare. Even the Nian beast in the 6th tribulations realm has more than 1 million divine powers, comparable to the ordinary 7 tribulations realm. Of course, the Lord of the Universe in the 7 tribulations realm would not be afraid of these Nian beasts. However, it is extremely difficult to kill these year beasts, and it is necessary to arrange a formation and ambush in advance. Just like fishing, it is extremely difficult for practitioners to walk here, and they all have a fixed route, but Nian beast does not. The power of prohibition does not pose any threat to them, and they can escape as they wish. Practitioners have nothing to do with these Nian beasts. It is also better to kill on the outside, because the restrictions on the periphery were broken by the strong, and the protection of the restrictions was lost. Although the strength of the beast was strong, it was not stronger than the siege of the practitioners. It's just that most of the Nian beasts on the periphery are in the 3 tribulations realm, and killing them is of little use. It is very difficult to encounter a 5 tribulation realm. These Nian beasts are indeed not simple, but they have lost the outer periphery. I am afraid that the restraining power of this inner periphery will be constantly broken. At that time, they will enter the core area to avoid. Wuxia stood in front of the sky, without any pity, and said indifferently, "The natural selection of things, this is their life. Who makes my human race dominance?" "Good," Huiqing said silently, but didn't say anything more. Even with his character, he thought Wuxia was right. Jian Wushuang, let alone, felt that this was what they should do. Is it possible to treat the demon clan with respect? Stop talking. Not to mention the monster clan. Just say the mechanical clan of metal life. That is the mortal enemy. All the monsters that were acquired were thrown towards the northern time and space. The difference is that they are treated as prey. Natural selection is just what the strong say. The real essence is that the strong eat the weak. This is the case when the north timespace faces the south timespace. They face these year beasts. The same is true. After several days of trekking, they finally came to the range of Morwo's space-time condensation. As soon as he entered this place, he found a Nian beast at the level of the 7 tribulations. Wuxia took the lead. With just one palm, the Nian beast was beheaded. The divine body shattered instantly, leaving only the demon core. The demon core was the size of a fist. Wuxia played with it in his hand, threw it to Jian Wushuang, and said, "If you want to refine the beast magic weapon, you need this, and you need a lot. I have seen some casting masters in the world continent. There are also god-forging masters at the level of the 9 tribulations, but these god-forging masters are not real gods. It is very difficult to refine the treasures of the 9 tribulations. When the time comes, I will introduce you to the real forging in our northern time and space. He should be able to help you." "Thank you." Jian Wushuang took over the demon core and said with a light smile, "But I have to find the rest of the beast soldiers first." Qishan was really amazing back then, and he was able to refine such a powerful treasure. "Look at this one." Wuxia took out a small centipede and said, "This is the eternal treasure that my master refined for me. I asked which casting to refine it for me, and it has reached the 9th robbery. Realm level. Even he praised my master's casting level is not simple, unusual, comparable to those god-casting masters of the 9 tribulation realm. Refining treasures, in fact, does not depend on strength. Look at the method. If Qishan refines an eternal treasure and compares it with the Lord of the Universe, he can also win. Look at the quality of the treasure, not the so-called grade." On this point, Jian Wushuang admires which casting god. "I really have to visit later. The realm is high. Now it is time to observe the relics left by Morwo's time and space." He accepted the demon core and took Wuxia and others directly down the pyramid. "Everyone, do you want to split up or walk together?" He turned his head and glanced at the 3 behind him. Wuxia saw the relics left by Mo Luo's time and space, and he couldn't help falling into the pitch-black ground. There were scars in his eyes and he sighed. "I'll walk alone. I'll find you later." "I'm not going with you either, just let me know when you leave." Wu Tian's face was cold and serious. He didn't say a word of nonsense and left directly. When Huiqing saw this scene, there was no loneliness in his eyes, but he was very happy. Speaking of which, he is still a disciple of Tongtian Buddha. It's also nice to see someone who once followed, and who can transform himself to a new level. I didn't feel that there was any change in the Tongtian Buddha, who was transformed into a demon. If that's the case, then I'll wait for you with Huiqing in front of you. In the end, he and Huiqing went to the depths of Mora ruins together. The two walked very slowly, exploring everywhere, trying to find something useful, or some traces left behind. It's a pity that the skin was too serious at the beginning. What was left was nothing but scorched earth. In the ruins, there are only some scattered fragments of the treasure. Jian Wushuang landed on a pillar that was still intact, picked up a piece of the treasure on the ground, and said sadly, "The treasure of the universe, it ended up like this. The treasure can still leave fragments, but those practitioners have left nothing. Wouldn't it be more pitiful?" The two walked all the way, exploring all the way. In the ruins of Morwa time and space, not even a Nian beast has been encountered. How sad! The time and space of Morwa once turned into a vast scorched earth, and there was nothing. What did Qishan think back then? Jian Wushuang looked up at the sky and fell into contemplation. "I do not want to face the failure of transcending the calamity and destroy the entire Morwa time and space together, and have reached some kind of cooperation with the extinction." Chapter 60-40. He glanced at the scorched earth of the entire Moro time and space. At the beginning, Qishan's strength was much stronger than he imagined. Half a step into the 8 tribulations realm is already very modest. Looking at these traces, at least it is comparable to the top of the 8 tribulations realm. Destroyed the entire Moro time and space. Good. Hui Qing put his hands together and said indifferently, Brother Wushuang, the destruction of this place is related to devouring. No need for Hui Qing's reminder, Jian Wushuang can also see it. If he simply destroys the long river of time and space, he can also do it. But the appearance after the destruction is by no means a piece of scorched earth. Grabbing a handful of scorched earth, he could see through the scorched earth that the remaining ashes should have been left by some kind of material force. If it is the destruction of divine power, I am afraid that nothing will be left in the entire Morwa time and space. Excluding Qishan and not cultivating divine power, he only follows the source route. Then the other party wants to destroy Morwa time and space, but also starts from the origin of time and space. Destroy the origin of time and space. Then the original Morwa time and space, when it was destroyed, was like the dryness of a vast ocean. Rootless water will slowly run out. What remains should also be a barren land, not a vast scorched earth. Qi Shen devoured this piece of time and space. Jian Wushuang put down the scorched earth. Still as he thought at first, the fall of Qi Shen is by no means so tragic, but has a purpose. Hui Qing nodded in agreement, similar to his own thoughts, and then commented, It should be for rapid growth, wanting to pull the seedlings and encourage growth. And the origin of his cultivation, the origin route he took, was probably to devour the origin of time and space. But he was unsuccessful. Backlash, and finally had to cut off his own swallowing avenue, and then prepared the Qishan temple and other funerals. This speculation, in Jian Wushuang's view, is reasonable. In their eyes, Qishan was already a villain. How could the villain abandon his own way and be unwilling to transcend the calamity? Delusion. Jian Wushuang shook his head and smiled bitterly. The original Qishan was really delusional. If you feel that you have swallowed the origin of time and space, you can become the master of time and space. In the Qishan temple, the realm described above, the Lord of the universe, is vaguely the Lord of time and space. However, when Jian Wushuang arrived at the upstream time and space, he opened his eyes and found that things were not that simple. Above the Lord of the universe, there are currently all kinds of gods. If you really want to say that the master of space and time, then it is the king of the realm. He controls the entire northern time and space. He is the only one who is the master of time and space. Even if it is a small person, it is the ultimate. Let everyone think he is a god. No need, he doesn't know the best thing about this matter. Let him wander around here alone. Let's go to the core to have a look. I just need some Nian Beast's demon core. He paused, and then continued. If you are okay, you can also come with me. Okay. Hui Qing nodded in agreement. He has nothing to do. And he came here like Jian Wushuang to see how Qishan went to destruction in the first place. In the vast scorched earth, the two left together. Wutian is not as much as Jian Wushuang, and Hui Qing thought. After finding nothing in the scorched earth, he has already entered the core land. Only Wu's was stood in front of a pillar, wiping tears silently. That pillar used to be the top pillar in a dojo. The dojo is naturally the dojo of Qishan. Thinking back to that time, he was listening to the sermon under this pillar. Although he was only a named disciple, after each sermon, Qishan would still transmit his voice to him with concern, and he would also inform him about some things he didn't understand. Now all is gone. When Morwa was at the peak of time and space, although it is respected by the Lord of the universe, however, Qishan Temple is the Lord of the universe externally, but internally it is the emperor, caring for every emperor. This is also why back then, there were so many emperors under Qishan's command, not the Lord of the universe. Those closest to Qishan are always those emperors. 18 gods, 108 messengers, and those disciples. In the scorched earth, only Wuxia was left, Jian Wushuang and others, and entered the core of the mysterious realm of Nian, the land of quicksand. Looking at the quicksand panting in front of him, he felt that this place was very interesting. In the quicksand, there are still some whirlpools. Chapter 60-41. These vortexes can even drag the powerhouses of the 8 tribulations into them. But there is no threat to life, just trapped, and there are some strange restrictions under the quicksand. Therefore, even Nian beasts are rarely seen here. Nian beasts are only immune to bans, and quicksand is extremely dangerous for Nian beasts. After so many years, I am afraid that there will be many Nian beasts swallowed by this quicksand. He felt that even if those Nian beasts had higher wisdom than practitioners, none of them would not be swallowed. The quicksand is like a filter, a big net for screening the Nian beasts. The Nian beast in the Seven Tribulations realm will probably be killed by the quicksand, but the Nian beasts in the Eight Tribulations realm will not, and they are likely to be below. Because there are no restrictions, there is no danger under quicksand. Nature can also survive, and the powerhouses of the human race enter this place at most. It's so hard to get through this quicksand. At most, they were in the quicksand, looking for the treasures that had leaked out. And there are many more. Jian Wushuang and Hui Qing just observed for a moment, and found some treasures leaking from the quicksand. There are herbs and various treasures. Shine brightly. It's just that the distance is very far, and the peak of the Eight Tribulations does not dare to take risks. Jian Wushuang has the strength, but not that idle heart. Look down on these treasures. Hui Qing is the same. He helped the realm king a lot, and he probably won no less treasure than him. Let's go down. Jian Wushuang didn't hesitate, and jumped directly into the quicksand. The huge suction force made his figure startled, and he almost fell from the air. The power of attraction surpasses the divine power of millions. But there is no need to directly cast super eternal transformation. Just in time and space in the middle reaches, he directly took out the beast magic weapon. The robbery armor on his body also began to operate. The basic divine power is 3 million, plus the 2 million of the robbery. The basic divine power is 5 million in an instant. Now there is no limit to the use of beast soldiers. The divine body can be increased at will, but the beast soldier has his own limit to him. Up to 10 times the power of the beast god. An increase of as much as 5 million. His power has also reached tens of millions. It just cancels the attraction force, and can walk at will. As for Hui Qing, his basic divine power is 15 million. Entering the land of quicksand is as easy as walking without any threat. The divine aura on his body has not changed, just like an ordinary person. The power of the quicksand around them surrounded them, and avoided them one after another. This is the aura of a strong man. An incomparably powerful strong man will condense this aura when he descends to a place. Jian Wushuang looked a little envious. It would be great if his basic divine power was 15 million. It's a pity that he is not in the Eight Tribulations realm. Every time Hui Qing practiced, it seemed that there was no chance, or that it was indifferent, but it was often able to burst into a power that was difficult for ordinary people to comprehend. Especially the peak secret technique of the future body. Definitely the most powerful secret technique he has ever seen. It's on a par with his super eternity, as expected of a superpower, who has mastered the way of heaven. Although Jian Wushuang was envious, he still asked with concern, Hui Qing, how is your understanding of that treasure? I'm ashamed to say it, but I only have a grasp of it. My own level is still a little low. Hui Qing was extremely modest, and took out the chessboard, and then said, I almost forgot, this chessboard can also play a little here. Effect. Oh, Jian Wushuang's eyes lit up, and he had long since looked down on Hui Qing's modesty. The other party said that he had a little grasp of it, but he definitely grasped most of it, so it's not surprising, but the chessboard can play a role here, which makes him somewhat surprised, but also with some curiosity. Try it, it's a bit embarrassing to say it. When I got it, I couldn't understand anything. This is also to be said by himself. When the Guantian chessboard is in his hands, his greatest achievement may be to find a successor for the Guantian chessboard. He himself got a robbery armor, as well as the pieces on the early Guantian chessboard. They only helped him a lot. But for the role of this chessboard, he has no clue at all. Hui Ming held the chessboard in his hand, and whispered with his fingers, God will carry it. As soon as the voice came out, the huge phantom of the chessboard had already descended. Pieces of chess piece phantoms, holding various flags, are distributed around. The deity of Huiqing became incomparably majestic, like a descending. The general obeys the order, and the 4 squares of time and space are inhabited. Follow your orders. The chess pieces from all sides folded their hands and clasped their fists one after another, and then staggered their positions in an orderly manner, placing the flags in their hands into the grooves of the chessboard. The land of quicksand also stopped at this moment. All the quicksand stopped. The power of attraction is also gone. This. Jian Wuxuang widened his eyes and exclaimed, "This chessboard can actually block time and space?" Huiqing nodded calmly and said, "Yes, you can maintain a space-time. On this chessboard, you can not only ban space-time, but you can also dispatch these pieces to fight. Move the pawns." This Jian Wuxuang is not surprised, because he also had this idea at the beginning, but he would not use it. It will only use a stupid method, that is to extract the origin of the chess pieces and refine them into puppets to help them fight. But in Huiqing's hands, he was able to mobilize all the pieces. And it seems that these pieces should not be weak. The same division as before. God handsome general soldier. He absorbed all the origins of these chess pieces at the beginning, and also used them to temper his origins and try to integrate them. Now it looks like it's not going the right way. Brother Wuxuang, let these chess pieces guard here, and let's go down and take those Nian beasts together. Before Huiqing could finish her words, she felt a shock. In the quicksand vortex, there is a powerful divine power surging. Jian Wuxuang said in surprise, "It's the Nian beast." After time and space stood still, the quicksand became a dead thing. Unable to flow, naturally there is no attraction. Those Nian beasts that were sucked under the quicksand were all madly going upstream in the vortex, trying to rush out. In this way, it also gave Jian Wuxuang and the others a message. The following should be a dead end. If you can leave from other places, then these Nian beasts should not be so anxious. Whoa! The next moment, the gravel of the vortex was washed away, and the Nian herd rushed out. 8 Tribulations Realm your beast group? Jian Wuxuang looked surprised. And it seems that each divine power surpasses tens of millions. Hundreds of them. If this rushes out of the mysterious realm of Nian, I am afraid that the entire middle reaches of time and space will be finished. Fortunately, these Nian beasts are only adapted to the mysterious realm of Nian. Otherwise it's a big disaster. But for Jian Wuxuang, it is a rare treasure. The beast soldier disappeared from the body, and the blue aura on his body rose up. Chapter 6042. Super Eternal Change. He broke out directly, ready to make a big fight. But before he could mobilize the Yuanyuan dojo, Huiqing stopped him. "Brother Wuxuang, don't be so troublesome." Jian Wuxuang was a little embarrassed. "Let's do it together. It's not like I can't deal with these wild beasts." No. Huiqing shook his head and corrected. "Why don't you take action?" He couldn't understand what Huiqing meant, and said in surprise, "No need to do anything?" "Yes." Huiqing nodded, raised his finger to the chessboard and said, "Listen to my orders." Jian Wuxuang also followed. It was only then that he understood that Huiqing wanted to use the pieces on the chessboard to deal with these Nian beasts. But that's a year of beasts. Each is in the 8 Tribulations realm. These chess pieces, I am afraid it is difficult to withstand. After thinking about it, it might be that Huiqing wanted to show his hand in front of him, but he didn't stop it. Then see how he manipulates it. If not, he will take another shot. You can't take the treasure by yourself. Let Huiqing do the work alone. The 4 square pieces moved again. The chess pieces that suppress the time and space are all chess pieces. The chess pieces that appeared this time held a standard long knife in each hand, and the cold light flashed, boundlessly terrifying. Only then did Jian Wuxuang discover that there was still a set of chess pieces. Moreover, these chess pieces have the breath of divine power and have no origin. The chess pieces of the soldier's name have a supernatural power of up to 5 million. The font size is as high as 10 million. But those handsome chess pieces, although rare, seem to be of higher rank, but have no divine power. He turned his head to look at the god-shaped chess piece. Still 3. but the divine power they contain has reached an infinite level. Can't see through. Jian Wushuang's face was full of surprise. I can't see through the chess pieces of the god's name. Huiqing explained. Brother Wushuang, these godly chess pieces should be the incarnation of divine power, and I can't see it through. Avatar. Then Jian Wushuang understood. Originally, he thought that Huiqing wanted to let the chess pieces of the general name fight to kill the Nian beast. But it will also be slow, because the divine power is the same as the Nian beast. However, under the command of the handsome chess piece, the soldier chess piece was able to participate in the battle, and also able to do it with ease. The number of chess pieces is similar to that of Nian beast, but they can fight together. Don't look at Nian beast's high intelligence, but there is no way to combine attacks. This is also normal, because no one can threaten the 8 Tribulation Realm Nian beast. Therefore, there is no need for a combined attack method. In the entire middle reaches of time and space, there is no cultivator who can make them need to work together to deal with it. The practitioners encountered, they all fled everywhere when they saw them, and they didn't dare to provoke them at all. Unexpectedly, it was planted here today. Under the coordinated battle, the chess piece and the Nian beast had a draw. But the magical power of the chess piece will not dissipate, and I don't know why, but the more the battle, the stronger it is. Nian beast is incomparable. Now it is a draw, but it is also a loser. It's just a bit slow to lose. Jian Wushuang felt that it was almost the same. After watching this, it was enough to shock him for a while, and it was time to take action in person. Unexpectedly, Huiqing stopped him again. Brother Wushuang, look again. Huiqing raised his hand and pointed out that the chess pieces of the 3 gods began to emit dazzling rays of light. Light and shadow descended and landed on the gods of the pawn-sized pieces and the shogun-sized pieces. These chess pieces changed color in an instant, become golden. When Jian Wushuang saw this place, he was shocked again. The golden divine power is of the same color as his current perfect divine power. His basic power is golden. This is no coincidence. The 3 chess pieces are really the embodiment of divine power. The chess piece that changed color suddenly surged in divine power. The chess pieces of the soldier's name, originally only 5 million in divine power, exploded to 10 million at this time. At this moment, the chess piece of the size will explode to 15 million divine power. The Nian herd was able to resist just now, but now it is being crushed. The Nian beast of the 108 tribulations was instantly killed. Ha! Jian Wushuang clutched his chest and said weakly, Huiqing, what other means? Use them together. He can accept anything now. Why did not show such a powerful power when watching the chessboard in the sky? Is it because he has not reached the 8 tribulations realm yet? If so, he would really regret it until his intestines were broken. After Huiqing heard this, she smiled and shook her head. Jian Wushuang felt that there was no other role to play, so he breathed a sigh of relief. There are still some chess pieces in the chessboard. At present, what I have mastered is not very subtle, otherwise I can be faster. Looking at Huiqing's harmless face, Jian Wushuang almost spat out a mouthful of old blood. In the end, he could only accept the demon core of those Nian beasts with hatred. This place is the core of the mysterious realm of the year. The Nian beasts of the 8 tribulations are basically here. He and Huiqing broke the ban on the land of quicksand. Continue walking towards the core. The number of Nian herds is much more than they want. After arriving in a valley, I found a wonderful treasure. This treasure belongs to the auxiliary category, a source, the source of divine power. It was born on a tree. In order not to damage this tree during the battle, after Huiqing suppressed the time and space, Jian Wushuang took it personally, then used the chess pieces to besiege the Nian beast again. Haha, is the willow tree very lucky? Back then, Wanlu Shimu was so magical. After Jian Wushuang carefully put it away, he was in a good mood. He wants to get this willow tree into the Qingquan Hall of the pyramid. At that time, sitting under the tree to practice, wouldn't it be more effective? Although the pyramid has the function of assisting in cultivation, it is only useful to metal beings, not to them. With this willow tree, He can even transmit the source of the willow tree to various cave houses. But then there is no effect of cultivating under the tree. But it's almost there, better than nothing at all. This willow tree is indeed unusual. If it is a sect, it can be completely upgraded by a grade. Huiqing couldn't help but sigh. Speaking of sect, Jian Wushuang really has this idea. If it is resolved, it will be destroyed. What about the inheritors in the Qi Temple? You can't just leave the company in place. They still have a mission. Revive the brilliance of Qi Temple. Let Qishan be great again. Looking at it now, Qishan is a joke. Greatness has also become a joke. But this momentum cannot be stopped. And they're ready to hide it. At that time, you can also use the reason of reviving the Qi Temple to gather all the strong people together. Unify the downstream space and time, and then hit the midstream. Break the blockage of the long river of time and space, all the way to the upstream time and space. As for going to the world god continent, he had an idea, and there was a threat from Shilu, so he had to go. But for the north time and space in his hometown, he still has a lot of things to do. As soon as he touched the restraint, he realized that the force of restraint was somewhat different from what he had encountered. Because of that restriction, it was as if it had just appeared. And the ban also isolates time and space. In the core of the mysterious realm of the year, there is definitely some kind of secret hidden. Just want to enter, but there is great danger. He suspects that in the deepest part, there is a Nian beast who has mastered the secret method of practitioners. Otherwise, it is impossible to block time and space. Pyramids are impenetrable. They want to get to the core. Difficult. Jian Wushuang returned to the canyon here, and Wutian just arrived. A group of people did not find that a dark eye was always staring at their direction and route. And around them, those various dangerous places are constantly changing. It's like a puzzle constantly moving. After Wutian came, he even said that according to the route given by Jian Wushuang, he encountered a thunder canyon, but Jian Wushuang did not encounter it. Everyone could not help but sweat coldly behind their backs. Jia, a crow stood on the top of the tree, raised its head and screamed, as if mocking everyone. The existence who manipulated all this was able to see the actions of Jian Wushuang and others through the crow. In the deepest part of the mysterious realm of Nian, in a dark forest. In the dark forest, there is not a trace of light to be seen. In the depths of the forest there is a cave. The crows flew out from here, monitoring the mysterious realm of the whole year. At this time, a Nian beast with the perfect level of the 8 tribulations was cautiously walking out of the cave. After entering the cave, there was only a trace of light. These light sources all came from the shrunken red eyeballs on the walls of the cave. If you look closely, you can see that the owner of these eyeballs is a crow. Nian beast stopped after entering the depths of the cave, and said in a hoarse voice in a language unique to Nian beast, "King, they are still going to move forward. Let Nian Lu send another group of Nian beasts to lead them into the Flame Mountain." The existence known as the King, through the red light source, leaked a trace of flame power, but could not see any face. After hearing this, Nian beast turned around and left without any hesitation. Send another team of Nian beasts? Year 6. Jian Wushuang still doesn't know. Their route has long been manipulated, like a marionette. In fact, after they found out that something was wrong, they were all ready to leave. Because the mysterious realm of the year is not within their grasp. And there is no shortage of treasures. No need to take risks. Who is the king of the mysterious realm of the year? But I don't know, because of his superfluous actions, he has brought himself a big trouble. Brother Wushuang, let's go now. Listening to what you said, I also think this place is gloomy and a little scary. Wuxia shrank his neck, and his courage suddenly became smaller. Jian Wushuang broke the branch in his hand and stood up. Go now. He also felt a sense of being stared at, but he couldn't find that person. Definitely more powerful than them. It's really dangerous to carry it here. It's better to slip away earlier. Anyway, the demon core obtained is enough. Huiqing took a deep look into the distance. He couldn't see any difference, He just felt that there was a danger around them. It's really good to leave. Humph. Wutian objected to their approach and said coldly, a small secret realm will scare you into this appearance. And it's ridiculous to say that everyone is facing the northern time and space. Wu's left face turned red. Yu was reading www. Hurriedly retorted. If you are bold, just go forward, I want to accompany you. Okay, let's go first. Jian Wushuang directly took out the pyramid for the sake of safety. Prepared to take everyone on the pyramid to leave. This also avoids the damage of the first wave of sneak attacks. After everyone went to the pyramid, they did not return according to the original path, but according to the route of Babata. They prepared to leave the core of the mysterious realm of Nian first. After you get out of the core, make plans. But there is no plan. If you leave smoothly, you will go straight to the downstream time and space. The pyramid broke the ban all the way and wanted to leave the mysterious realm of the year, according to the nearest route. Chapter 6044. Jian Wushuang also stood in front of the sky because he was worried, observing the situation outside. As soon as he moved his thoughts, he felt a huge aura. Just in the ban in front, before he waited for his system, the pyramid rushed in at a superb speed. Careful, boom. The pyramid slammed hard against the restriction, but only shattered a small gap. But the pyramid still followed the gap and directly entered the world within the restriction. From the outside world, inside the ban is a green grassland. But after entering the ban, they found out that this place is a grassland, and this is a sea of fire. There is also a towering mountain, constantly spewing flames. It's a group of Nian beasts. Jian Wushuang let out a sigh of relief when he found that there were Nian beasts active on the top of the flame mountain. However, there is an unusual aura in this group of Nian beasts. The rest also noticed this. Wuxia said in surprise, the 8 tribulations realm is complete. 18 million divine powers. Among the Nian beasts, there is a Nian beast with a high generation crown, standing on the top of the flame mountain with its head held high. This is still the strongest Nian beast that Jian Wushuang has encountered. It has 18 million divine powers. It is stronger than the 8 tribulations realm consummation. It is no longer comparable to the beast god. This is the living beast god. Jian Wushuang was also a little hot, but that threat is still around. He didn't dare to move. Not afraid of danger, but afraid of delaying time. Their purpose is to return to the downstream space-time, not a stopover. And everyone has no shortage of treasures. That's why he himself needs the beast core of Nian beast. Don't let this little thing affect the big thing. Forget it. I'm afraid it will take some time to solve him. Let's go. Brother Wushuang, give me a stick of incense, and I can help you solve it. Hui Qing's eyes were filled with fighting intent. Obviously, he wanted to help Jian Wushuang take down the Nian beast. Hui Qing and Wuxia know the most about the beast soldiers, knowing how helpful this is for Jian Wushuang. At this time, Wuxia also wanted to know some of Hui Qing's combat power again, so he persuaded. Brother Wushuang, don't hesitate. Killing a Nian beast leader is just a matter of raising your hand. You don't want to. I'm nervous, it won't take long. TSK, the threat you mentioned, shouldn't it be this Nian beast? Wutian also sneered on the side. I think they were too careful. Some cup bow snake shadow meaning. If you encounter a little threat, you will be frightened. Jian Wushuang's thoughts moved. He felt the surroundings and wanted to investigate. After finding that there was no difference, he lowered his vigilance, feeling that there was nothing that could fill him, and the feeling of being stared at, as if after entering this place, just disappeared. Okay. He nodded to Hui Qing. Be careful. Hui Qing is full of self-confidence. Don't worry. As soon as his figure moved, he left the pyramid, appeared again, but 2 Huiqings appeared in the sky. Future body. The last time I was in Taiga Haitian, Wuxia and Wutian were too far away to see it carefully. After seeing it this time, it gave them a great impact. The divine power exceeds 20 million. Wuxia couldn't help exclaiming. Wutian stood aside, clenched his fists, gritted his teeth and said, how did he cultivate to be able to create such a heaven-defying secret technique. 23 million divine power. Jian Wushuang also swallowed, surpassing the limit of life. This is a bit out of the ordinary. After the divine power reaches 20 million, the laws of the northern time and space will be suppressed. Hui Qing on the flaming mountain was also a little surprised. He only used half of his future body, and he was able to burst out 230,000 divine powers. There seems to be no restrictions on him here, nor did he feel the suppression from the northern time and space. This made his brow furrowed. However, it was still quick to shoot, and the entire flaming mountain was smashed into pieces with just one punch. The Nian beast was also extremely surprised. It was sent by the king to attract cultivators. I thought those cultivators would hurriedly leave when they saw him. I didn't expect these people to be so brave. Moreover, the head of the white-robed monk in front of him can be so powerful. One punch smashed the entire flaming mountain. The sky was suddenly filled with red fireballs, constantly bombarding the earth. Wang, a Yuan is not his opponent. Nian Lu was completely panicked. Want to leave with the help of a ban. But the current Hui Qing is too powerful, and in the future, he already has the combat power of the Nine Tribulations realm. Looking at Nian Lu who was about to escape, he pointed out and killed Nian Lu directly. Only one demon core remained. In the pyramid, Jian Wushuang and the others have huge mouths. After seeing Hui Qing's terrifying means, cold sweat leaked from his forehead. Luckily it's my own. If the opponent is so strong, they will not have their lives to escape. Snapped. Hui Ming took a breath and directly inhaled the demon core in the sky into his hand. The future body also disappears. Only the deity was left to enter the pyramid. Hui Qing, you are able to break the limitations of the northern time and space. Your future life is really not easy. Jian Wushuang couldn't help but admire. His super-eternal transformation uses the power of the starry sky, which should be able to break this rule. But the power used by Hui Qing is not the power of the starry sky. It can even break through the limitations of this time and space. After Hui Qing stood up, he showed a puzzled expression like everyone else, and then shook his head. I don't know why I was able to break the boundary all of a sudden. I couldn't break the boundary at all in the past, and I just used half of my power just now. I didn't expect to be able to reach the power of 23 million. Half. Jian Wushuang and the others took a deep breath again. It's so scary. Half as strong. The prosperity of this future body. I am afraid it can break 30 million. That is double the base power. It is the same as Jian Wushuang's super-eternal change. Heaven-defying secret method. This time Wuxia calmed down first, interrupted everyone quickly, waved his hand and said, Wait, could it be that this place is not restricted by the northern time and space? So Hui Qing can easily break it. Hui Qing's eyes moved, nodded and said, I think so too. There is only one possibility. It is too difficult to break the boundaries of time and space. First of all, the northern time and space has restrictions, and the limit of divine power that life can carry is in the early 20s. You can press the line, but absolutely cannot break it. If it is really broken, it is the legendary one force breaking all methods. Hui Qing was able to break the restriction so easily just now. Obviously it was not a one-shot effort. Because of this place. Thinking of this, Jian Wushuang licked his lips. Swish! His figure rushed out directly. In the apocalyptic scene, he raised his head and shouted angrily, clenching his fists with both hands. Divine power exploded in an instant, constantly rising. Chapter 60-45. 3 cosmic dojos are coming at the same time. Super-eternal change. He clenched his teeth, thinking of exploding his divine power to the limit, to see if he could also explode his divine power beyond the limit here. The basic divine power plus the robbery armor directly came to 5 million. The super-eternal change has doubled, which is 15 million. The dojo increased by 60%. It is an increase of 9 million divine power. My super-eternity has really reached the level of perfection. The arc from the divine aura is extremely powerful, and it can easily pierce the entire time and space. divine power has also reached an astonishing 24 million. Time and space are shaking. He can now easily shatter the entire year of mystery. Jian Wushuang felt it, unprecedentedly powerful. Everyone is extremely comfortable. This was the first time he had such a perfect outburst. If it is under normal circumstances, his divine power can reach 18 million. Even if the super eternity has reached the perfection level, he can only be a super strong opponent with 20 million divine powers. Now it can explode perfectly, reaching 24 million divine powers. In the pyramid, except for Hui Qing, everyone else was extremely surprised. Surprised by the strength of Jian Wushuang. It can easily surpass 20 million. Jian Wushuang, he can do it. Wu Tian gritted his teeth and stared at Jian Wushuang outside, feeling unprecedented pressure. That breath was enough to suppress them. Wuxia was surprised by the magic of this place. It is not controlled by the northern time and space. There is definitely a big secret here. Hui Qing's eyes narrowed slightly. What was even more surprising than those of them was the dark forest that came from the core of the mysterious realm of Nian. Witch King took a deep breath when he saw that Hui Qing's divine power surpassed 20 million, and then found out that Jian Wushuang's divine power also surpassed 20 million, and he couldn't sit still any longer. Notify Nian Jiao. Besiege these people and eradicate them at any cost. In the dark cave mansion, there was a gust of gloomy wind. A first-year beast, dispatched in the dark, only leaked his eyes. The divine power of each Nian beast exceeds 20 million. It has absorbed the power of the abyss for so long, and now is the time to get rid of them. The huge face on the throne showed a hint of disgust and said viciously, "Damn humans, since they have discovered the specialness of this place, they will all die." Countless crows flew out of the cave. The king in the shadow also left the cave. In order to be safe, he still had to go there in person. Because Hui Qing and Jian Wushuang have huge potential, and there is no restraint in this place, he is afraid that these people still hide their strength. Must go out in person. The king in the mysterious realm of the year. He is also the king of the Nian herd. God of the year. Flaming Mountain has been completely destroyed. At this time, Jian Wushuang and the others were still amazed at the specialness of this place, and they didn't know that they had provoked a special powerhouse to come. Now Jian Wushuang is still thinking about whether to change his strategy. He now wants to stay and find out. Isolate the northern time and space, and exert more than 20 million divine powers. He took a deep breath and said a bold idea. "Everyone, this place is very important. Do you want to fight again?" "Fight!" Wu Tian took the lead in standing up, and he was incomparably approved. He also tried to explode with all his strength just now, and his divine power could reach 15 million. This has reached the perfection level of the 8 tribulations realm. But he is still the master of the 7 tribulations realm universe. With such a big opportunity, why not fight for it? Wuxia's face was gloomy. He knew a lot and naturally thought a lot. "Brother Wushuang, don't you want to get it?" Wuxia didn't finish his words, but the meaning was very clear. No one is a fool. This place can break through the restrictions of the northern time and space. So can they get this ability or spread it? Thinking of Nian mysterious realm constantly absorbing the surrounding secret realms, it has become a time-space secret realm. The size is comparable to a huge time-space river. If the Nian mysterious realm covers the entire northern time and space, then there is no need to wait for Danbao to improve the life level of northern time and space, and it will be able to reach the perfect level directly, and will also be able to give birth to the 9 tribulations realm. No matter how bad it is, they will take this place for their own use in the future. Are they invincible here? Of course, first of all, you must first master the mysterious realm of the entire year. Then attach this special power to the individual. If the enemy also reaches the mysterious realm of the year, there is no restriction. Everyone is the same. At this moment, Jian Wushuang also thought about it a lot, but finally settled on an idea. "Wuxia, have you ever thought that if you move the special features of this place to your own origin dojo, aren't we directly invincible and truly swept across the northern time and space?" Jian Wushuang became more excited as he spoke, pointing downstream. "Destroy, you don't know the threat of life. Even if we have reached today's realm, it is very difficult to go back to deal with destroying life. If you can get the secrets of this place, what is the meaning of destroying life? This is not too scary to deal with. The threat of extinction is really big. When he left the Qi temple, the other party had already transformed into the Temple of Destruction. This is similar to Dan Bao's incarnation of the Immortal Temple. Dan Bao is transformed into an immortal temple, but he can easily suppress Qi Jiuxiao. In case they can do it even if they destroy life, they are also courting death when they go back to this realm now. But Wuxia was still a little hesitant, because this violated the laws of the northern time and space, and he was still a direct disciple of the realm king. Now following Jian Wushuang, to fight things outside the northern space-time law, it does make him have some scruples. At this time, Huiqing took the initiative to persuade him. Brother Wuxia, this place is also the northern time and space. We may eradicate this place. Maybe it is a matter of merit. After he finished speaking, he nodded at Jian Wushuang, obviously agreeing with Jian Wushuang's ideas and practices. 3-1, then there's nothing to say. If you don't do it, you don't see it. Jian Wushuang didn't bother to persuade anymore, so he gave an ultimatum. In fact, what Huiqing said also makes sense. Isn't exploring this place to solve the trouble for the North time and space? Do not explore. Is leaving now and informs the king. The other party may not have any way. It's time to rely on them. I don't know what happened to Wuxia, but suddenly he became cautious. Maybe it's really about the common people, feeling that such a big thing, not telling the real king in advance, is not going to go away. But he also has his own ideas. Wuxia heard that he was going to be dismissed, and said quickly, I agree. I didn't say I disagree. It's just that no matter what the outcome of this matter is, we have to report the matter here to the realm king. Wushuang brother, we are after all practitioners, only consider their own strength, not the safety of the entire northern time and space. Brother Wuxia is right, I agree with this. Huiqing nodded in agreement. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.